Right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle. Rose is on his way around. Picked up by Otis.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now?
You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
You are watching live as I fix my curtains to get the sun out of my eyes. To the best damn sports podcast. It still didn't fucking work. This side of the Licking River. My name is Santori Miles. We got Greg Luther. We got Cincy James. We got Bengal Dad. How we doing? How we doing?
I'm ready. I'm excited to be back.
I'm freaking blind.
Was the Mountain Dew
Is Tee
supposed to
Higgins-
cut the blinds out?
No, it just thought there might have been one in there, and there wasn't. And I'm really sad.
Is Tee Higgins signed yet?
I don't know. Ask Zim.
Yeah.
You know what I love about
I'm
our
sure
opening?
getting upset.
I get a Jordan
Get
Evans
upset.
sighting every time.
Jordan, what?
I get a Jordan Evans sighting every time we get that intro.
Oh, yeah.
He scoops up the ball after what's his name? The guy that left our team drilled Juju.
You so soon have you forgotten Von Bell and his legacy.
Legacy. That is a legacy.
Jordan Evans, Von Bell, Crypt Keeper, Darth, Stranger. They're all the same, right?
I guess.
We got 5 on here. I need 30. I need 30 on here, not 5.
Jesus Christ. Setting the bar high.
I haven't been on here for a while. I heard you guys every time I'm not on here. Oh, we have 5 million people watching. Okay. I'm here. They're gone.
First and foremost, how's the shoulder? Can you throw a baseball yet?
Hell no. It's
Okay.
hurting again.
What would you do?
I mean,
to
I
it?
can pump it up here.
You can do grease lightning. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, did you have was it a labrum surgery or what
Rotator.
was it? Rotator. Okay.
Let's see what it looks like here. Can't really see much. Nothing to show. Nothing to see here, folks.
Well, speaking of shoulders, my mother-in-law has to have surgery on Wednesday from the car accident. The quote that I got was, if they find enough pieces while they're in there, they'll piece it back together. If not, it's
If
a
not, replacement.
Sounds like a replacement to me. Just going to say that.
That's like, it's not good news. Like when your mechanic goes, well, I have enough pieces when we're looking at it.
Yeah. Or I found leftover pieces. I don't know what happened.
They're just trying to decide if they're going to total it or
Honey,
not.
I built the kitchen table, but I have all these spare pieces. I don't know what's going on.
Right. Yeah. So that's bye, Greg.
Oh, Greg has left the building.
His device not connected.
Did we offend?
Uh-oh.
No, he's trying out a new webcam, and I think the technology's getting the best of him.
So what are we talking about tonight, boys?
Yeah, it is.
Well, we were hoping to talk about some extensions.
Listen,
Might happen.
we got some extension rumors.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
We do have 8 games in the books for the Reds, and they're not done yet.
Nope.
So we can at least give them some 500 credit.
They're a
Whatever credit's
500
due.
club right now.
Yep, they are impeccably better than they were last year, though I don't anticipate it lasting.
They're
But
going
credit
down to
where
Hot
credit's
Atlanta, where
due.
they dominated in April last year.
Oh yeah, credit where credit's due. They're 500. But then we'll do Bengal Dad's favorite thing and make him do a mock draft. And
Oh, come on.
You mean
listen,
one of these?
Just take the guy that runs kind of fast.
it's what we
Take
did.
anybody that looks like they run fast in a Bengal uniform, because nobody ever looks fast in a Bengal
Listen, we
uniform.
did that like 7 years ago, and it completely fucking backfired.
Yeah, John Ross.
That was the one I remember sitting at the kitchen table going, I think I found one that looks fast. And then he broke the fucking record. So that's what it takes for us to look
All right.
fast.
No, we're not talking about this. That I sold 2 bottles of Blanton's. I was excited as hell. I was ready to go streaking and all that. We got John Ross. We got our speedster, and then reality struck.
Well, I was doing the same thing when they got Kajana Carter. That didn't work out too well either.
Yeah.
For those non whiskey and bourbon aficionados out there. James, what's a bottle of Blanton's running for these days?
Oh, shut up.
Are you talking retail or on secondary?
Let's say secondary market.
A higher number.
$110 for a regular bottle of
Yeah, and
Blanton's.
I sold sticker price for them. I sold 2 sticker price for $60 just to buy a John Ross jersey. Thanks a lot, James. I'm out of here.
Wait, hold on.
That's my trash you done made, so you bagged him. I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty.
All right, we've already hit Big Savage Greg mode, and we haven't even gotten our sponsorships in yet. So let's
Let's get that out of the way first.
get that. Well, hold on now. We're not just tossing them aside. These people mean something to us.
I'm kidding.
Get it out of the way. My God.
Oh, you know
Yeah,
what?
we have a graphic for that, James.
You got a clip.
You got to grab.
Do you like honey? Do you like wine? Do you like mead? Technically, I think it's beer because that's where you buy it. Someone's calling me. Whoa!
In the
Sorry,
middle
Sam.
of the ad.
Sorry, Sam.
Oh my God.
I guess it's technically a beer because that's you find it in the beer sections of Jungle Gyms. But do you like honey? Do you like wine? Do you like beer? You might like mead. It's a fantastic little sip and drink that they have. Is pretty lethal. I think it's like 14 to 17% alcohol. So don't sip it on it too fast, too much. But just imagine this. It's a nice brisk summer evening. Here in Cincinnati, it's about 70 to 80 degrees over the next week. You're sitting out on your deck. The beautiful bluebirds are zippity-doo-dahing away, floating by, and you're just getting a nice little happy buzz and enjoying life. That's where Brimminghorn kicks in. Use our code HOODAY9. Get 15% off 2 bottles or more, unless you live in Montana or New Jersey. I'm adding a new state to the mix. Get fucked, New Jersey. I don't know what you did, but you're out of the program. And you're like right next door in Delaware. I can understand Montana. They're like on the other side of the globe. But Jersey, you're like this big and you're next door. What did you do?
King Kong, they're next to New York.
What did you do? How'd you get extra in that program? Either way, 15% off our code, 2 bottles or more. It's a great one. Next sponsor.
How could you? First off, how could you not like that after that? Oh man, that was awesome! Bam! You want me to do it?
I guess you got to be seductive though, right?
I got to be what?
Don't we got to be seductive for this?
ThreeWayCity.com. No. Is that what you're talking about? Wait, is that a white hat?
No. White.
Greg's got a white hat.
It looks white. It
Greg's
looks
got a
awesome.
What's an orange hat?
I don't know. Orange. Your camera
Oh,
sucks.
it's white.
If that's orange, holy hell, you need a new camera,
It's an
sir.
orange hat.
All right, our good friend
Don't
Adam
remind me.
Monell with Three-Way City he is really trying to bring the Cincinnati culture into this clothing line that he's produced called Three-Way City. What is one of the most iconic things you can eat in Cincinnati? Don't say Geta. The three-way. Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah, that.
I didn't know if it was rhetorical or you
I was
actually
letting you
wanted me
finish, bro.
to say something.
That's why I said don't say Geta. So you can say three-way.
We don't have
Anyway.
a script for this one. It's not like when we had those assholes with Betfred that wanted us to say everything the right way.
Yes. But he's really trying to bring the culture of Cincinnati. He's incorporating the colors from the professional sports teams. He's starting to reach out to different people. Not going to say names, but rhymes with Rootsy Wallens. Trying to reach out to him to maybe collab on some stuff. He mentioned that on our show when we had him on. But he's got a lot of really cool items. If you look here, you've got the Three-Way City hat. The one in the bottom is the dad hat, bottom left. A really cool hat. I think that's going to be the first one I'm going to buy. But it also has a picture of the iconic three-way on the side. It's very affordable, too. It's not like it's very expensive. This is Greg's favorite. I think he's got 3 of these at home. The crop top.
I wear them to work.
Yeah, well, this is This is when we get Zeke Elliott.
Now listen. Listen, they came out with a men's version of this. Well, I don't want to say men's version. They came out with a T-shirt version of this shirt, and it is.
I was going to say that looks manly enough right there.
Yeah, it is. It is Bengals colors on that one.
I need to buy one of those for Kim.
There you go.
Listen, I have photographic evidence of you wearing crop tops. I think you should buy one.
Oh, we need to put that with the picture
There you
I
go,
did
Bengal Dad.
with Irv Smith Jr. and Hayden Hurst. We need to put that right next to him. Maybe Bengal Dad will play tight end for it.
Yeah.
But
I'm
anyway,
getting big enough.
Go to threewaycity.com. Check out all the merchandise. Adam has been so gracious with us, really trying to promote his brand, really wanting to get this out there. We do have some stuff that we are going to be starting some giveaways with shortly. We got to talk about it as a show, but we're going to get it done. So be looking for that here shortly. threewaycity.com.
Sports talk.
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm looking at what Crypt Keeper said about pull my finger. What? I don't understand how that means my shoulder's better if I can do the pull my finger trick.
Oh, it's just funny. Can somebody pull on your?
I mean,
oh, there you go.
I don't know.
That looks like a hot new TikTok dance craze right there.
He just farted 4 times when he did that too. So,
all right, sure. So sports ball. Let's start with the one. Oh, God damn it. Why?
Go ahead, Greg.
But what was I going to say? Oh, Miles Murphy visiting the Bengals. Potential
Why?
prospect.
Why is he visiting the Bengals?
Who's he?
I don't know. He's Cincinnati Santori.
He's like the best pass rusher in the draft. He's going to be like a top 10 pick. Like,
Does he play center field?
No, wait, Santori. Look at it this way, Santori. If you got offered a free ride, even though you know you got drafted by this team, if you got offered a free ride to go to the city of Cincinnati, I'd go for the hell of it.
Not in April. Like,
What?
there's nothing here. Well, you got allergies and Skyline. Great.
You got the Reds.
Woo!
Hell yeah, man. I get allergies every single day. That's what I'm talking about.
Speaking of the Red Legs,
4
and 4.
They are 5% the way through the season, and they're still at 500.
95 to go.
Visit now, sign in 4 years. that's
Yeah, that'll be one of those guys that we go, hey, remember when we made fun of him for visiting? Well, we just signed him as a reclamation project because it didn't work in Vegas or wherever he ends up going. Save that clip for when that all actually comes true.
They must have liked him in the draft. He visited.
Yeah, that'll be one of those things where, like, I don't even know who, John Sheeran will tweet out, well, they liked him in the pre-draft process. Okay.
Yep.
There's like 3 of those every single year. Maybe Miles Murphy will be
Trade
our 4 years from now. They liked. No, you don't trade up. Oh, we'll get into the draft in a minute.
Yeah.
We do have to give the boys of summer some credit. They're 4-4. They're 500, which is typically the most I ever ask for in this town. And they're doing it with a shit ball club and a non-existent bullpen.
That's key right there. Non-existent bullpen.
I don't know how long this will last, but it's important to enjoy the wins as they come. So, round of applause for the 4-4 Reds, and they've already, I think, got 3 blown saves, which is awesome.
Doesn't it look like they pulled Fraley and Friedel out of a bar and said, "Go out there and play ball"?
Why not?
They're like a beer ball or beer league softball team. That's what they look like.
You know what? I don't know if it's the. This is an interesting point of conversation. I don't know if it's the sped up pitch clock, or if they have a new hitting coach or what. But for whatever reason, the offense seems to be a little bit more consistent up and down the lineup.
Yes.
I don't know the exact numbers, but every time I do listen or turn them on, it seems like there's someone on base. They tend to. I'm not going to say there's no holes in the lineup because Will Benson is like the human black hole of strikeouts. They just.
Yeah.
But my God, they tend to like get on base right now, which is half the battle.
I also like that they split up their. I'm not going to call them a big 3, but their top 3 in the rotation. They finally did split them up, and they put Graham Ashcraft after Connor Overton.
So who got hit yesterday? Was Overton the one that got hit a little bit yesterday? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm not going to blame a starter for getting hit in his first couple starts.
no. But the thing that I like about it is, we know the back part of our rotation is not great. You got Luis Sessa, you got Connor Overton. They're not bona fide starters, consistent starters in the majors.
They
Now,
don't make most rosters in Major League Baseball, to be fair.
They might be a long inning guy. Like, guy gets shelled. He comes in,
we're down 10-3 in the fourth. Go get him, Luis.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. He comes in, he mops up three innings maybe. They're not really bona fide starters. But the way that you stop these losing streaks, or, let's say Overton gets crushed and then Luis Sessa gets crushed, normally that kind of snowballs and it can go into the top of your rotation. But if you got two solid guys and a guy, then you throw Graham Ashcraft in there, who I really like. I think he's a really good starter. It's kind of a stopgap to me.
So in theory, especially because your rotation gets so jacked up during the course of a season.
Yeah.
Is it better to go 1-4-2-5-3 or 1-2-4-5-3? Like, you split those guys up in the middle, so every other day you have one of your top three guys.
That's a good question.
You'll get to a situation, unfortunately, where you're like, hey, it's my 5, my 1, and my 4 going this week. Yeah. You'll run into those, but you run into that seemingly anyway, especially with the way injuries happen.
I think the only time that you consider moving your rotation around is if you're getting ready to play a series against a team that is really poor at maybe hitting left-handed pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Reds, I don't think they have a left-handed starter, correct?
Lodolo,
okay. I think that's the only time you move the rotation. I think you got to – those guys they're so used to pitching on either 4 or 5 days rest.
Yeah.
I don't know if you mess it up. Now, if you're doing it now and you're going to keep it this way permanently, that's one thing.
That's what I mean.
If you're going to keep adjusting it, that's a problem.
I'm not suggesting to keep adjusting it. I'm suggesting coming out the gate and planning for your season with one of your good guys every 3 days.
I go with my best, my 2, my 3, my 4, my 5. That's just what I do.
Let's think of why they were able to do that as well. They've had several games rained out. So they've been able to shuffle because of that. So, they looked at it. They saw what was coming up. They're like, okay, let's make a change.
I will say it seems like a moderately decent strategy when your number 4 and number 5 are just absolute duds. It prevents you from, getting into a situation where it's 4-5-1 and you've had 2 absolute disasters and you have to perform well to avoid a sweep. And your 1 right now can't get out of the 4th inning because he's still learning how to pitch.
Yep.
I think it's more psychological than anything. If you got a 162 game schedule and you got a 5-man staff, they're each going to throw probably 30 to 32 innings if everybody were to stay healthy, or games if everybody stays healthy. So you still got a number 4 and a number 5 throwing 32 games. I don't care if it's back to back or separated.
I get that. I understand.
I'd rather have my worst guy at number 5, and maybe if you do get a rain out, you get a break and you get to skip him. That's one less start for him.
We're
a long way away from worrying about that kind of stuff, but
I just like the idea. I say this of having 2 of my top 3 going every 3-game series, but you're going to run into those odd series where if you truly do go your 1, your 4, your 2, your 5, your 3, that you're going to have a 4, 2, and 5 at some point. And it's like, whoo, okay, I don't even have my 1 to balance that out.
Right.
So maybe it's 6 of one, half dozen another. Maybe it really doesn't matter. It's going to come out 60% of the time that you've got 2 of your top. 3 going all the time anyway.
I think it's time to go to the 3-man rotation and just tell them all to pitch 5 innings.
Yeah, that'll work.
It worked 40 years ago. Of course, they all pitched 8 and 9 innings.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's all right.
I digress back to when baseball was a different game.
True.
Football players have gotten tougher, I believe, even though they got the stupid rule about the quarterback. But I think football players are stronger, faster, tougher. But for some reason, pitchers can only pitch. You get the 90, and they're about done.
I'll agree with stronger and faster. Tougher.
I don't know about tougher. I mean, if you start thinking about the guys bleeding out of the nose and Butkus and all that stuff, yeah, they were brutalized.
Now, back to the Reds real quick. They are going up against the Atlanta Braves. That's a tough series.
Braves suck.
Okay.
I couldn't name 3 guys on that entire team.
We'll have a hard time hitting.
I also don't pay attention to their team, so I don't know.
And
I haven't watched baseball in 2 years.
Let's talk about this too. Tyler Stevenson, 8-game hitting streak, going for 9 tonight. Let's see what happens.
How many of those games were at catcher?
Not all of them.
Oh, so he doesn't have to play catcher, like I was told?
Not all the time, no.
Oh, okay. Well, glad he's healthy and hitting. It's almost like the hits don't matter what position they come at.
100%. I agree with you.
Right.
Because Jonathan India with the single to lead off.
I gotta figure out how to get this freaking game on here.
That's right.
How about Vosler with 9 ribbies?
Dude,
9.
Hey, Tori, you texted the other day. Who the hell is Vosler?
Just keeps going. I like this swing.
All I messaged was, he's the man.
You know who he has the same swing as that nobody's talking about, but they'll make the comparison because he's a shorter white guy with a long left-handed swing.
I mean,
he's Scooter Gennett.
Okay.
He's going to pop off and have a Scooter-like season, and everybody's going to go, ooh, well, guess what? He's also –
He's not going to have a Scooter season. He's not going to be playing much longer when Votto gets back.
I don't give a shit how old Votto is or what he is.
He's 32 years old. He had 3,000 at bats in the minor leagues. There's no future there.
He's 29. He's not 32.
There's no future.
He's 29. First off, he's number 32, but he's 29. And he's number 1 in our hearts. Now, with that being said,
the Reds payroll.
Yeah, he's cheap as hell. And guess what? He's got the short porch in right field, which is what this ballpark was designed for. He's going to hit 25 to 30 home runs this year, whether he wants to or not. And then he's going to fade away in a year and a half, and we're going to go, whatever happened to that Voss?
Right, we need to make a wager. He is not going to hit 25 home runs. We will make a wager right now.
Put the over-under at 20.
Oh, now you dropped it to 20 already.
19 and a half. 19 and a half.
Put it at 22 and a half then. I think he's going to hit 25.
No, he's not.
Okay, fine. What do you want to wager?
Hot fudge cake?
No, Bengal bus. If I win
the
bus.
That ain't happening.
Oh, you're not confident then.
The Bengal bus, I'm going to go down there and do a who's the skater?
Tony Hawk? What?
Who was the skater in the Olympics? Nancy Kerrigan.
Tanya Harding?
Yeah. I'll pull the old Tanya Harding on it at like 18 years.
God, no.
Hey, two on, no out.
You're ahead of me. I got a hit, and I still got
free to walk.
Oh, okay, I do see that. And it's 1-1 on Fraley.
Oh, see, you're ahead of me.
There you go, 1-1 on Fraley.
Hey, his name's not Jake Fraley, by the way. It's Rake Fraley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lols.
I'm just kidding. All right, so Crypt Keeper's got something interesting. Let's just say T signs an extension, but it's only 2 years. Wouldn't that be a bad deal for the team? How many years do you guys think it will be? 4+, maybe? What do you think?
Starting with the 2 years, it's not ideal. But I'm always for shorter contracts anyway, as long as the money makes sense. I hate being wrapped up into someone and then something happens and their career falls off or they get hurt or they want to leave. There's so many things that can happen with long contracts that scare me. 2 is exceptionally short. You typically don't have too many problems within a year and a half.
I would prefer at least 3. 2 is, I wouldn't hate it because it's another 2 years at T. And that gives you the flexibility if, let's say, they can't re-sign Jamar for whatever reason. I fully expect them to, but shit happens. Now you have the option of looking at T and Jamar. I mean, I would prefer at least 3. I would be comfortable up to 4 or 5. 2 is a little short, but it also depends what the money's like. A lot of times with shorter contracts, you get more guaranteed money. That would sway me away.
Let's also think, too, 3 gives you 4, right?
What? Yeah.
3 gives you 4 because you've got T wrapped up for his 4th year already. So you sign him to a 3-year extension, you've got him for 4 more years.
Right.
Right now, we've got him for 1.
I like 4 years. I like 4 years when you got a player that you can trust. And I trust that he will not turn into a gun-waving jackball.
Well,
so I go 4 years for him, 4 years and for Chase also.
How do I delete cookies?
Huh?
What?
With my VPN, if I delete my cookies, it apparently works. So I got to delete my cookies.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
What I normally do to delete cookies is open the bag and start.
Yeah, I know. Normally that's not a problem for me, but we're struggle busting right now.
Oh, hold on. Underrated comment right here. When Bengal Dale was talking about skaters, RYCP513, Brian Boitano?
Ah.
Now, if anybody is a South Park watcher, yes, that's it right there.
What would Brian Boitano do?
Yep. That is a great reference there. I'm guessing RY stands for Ryan, so good job, Ryan.
How do I delete these damn cookies?
So, you know how I was talking about Tyler Stevenson having an 8-game hitting streak?
Yeah, he just
struck out in the inning.
That was a promising inning that just kind of evaporated.
Yeah, it was.
Womp, womp.
Cookies deleted. Uh-oh.
Okay,
Great.
so
what are we talking about? I think 4 years is good for Tee Higgins.
I
That's
like
where I go.
Yeah.
I like the 4-year. That gives you 5 years. That would put him. How old would he be? He'd be 28. Is that right?
That's still not real old for a
28.
receiver.
Hold on, let me look him up real quick just to be safe. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing here.
How old is Tee Higgins?
He was born in 99,
24.
so he'd be 28, 29.
He's 24.
Yeah, so that actually God, Brian is on one. Santori literally deleted himself off of the internet when he deleted cookies.
Yeah, I know.
But that would give him.
Buddy, everything's out of whack. I'm trying to figure out my camera shit, and everything's out of whack today.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out a little bit too, but that would give you him till about his age 29 season. 24.2 years old. There you go.
0.2.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah.
So he'd be 29 in his last year. That would still set him up to be able to get maybe another contract, even if it wasn't with the Bengals. But I like that a lot. I don't see how you couldn't make that.
Me too.
Unless you're Tee Higgins and you wanted like 6 years. that'd be the only thing, you know. But hopefully the people that have been saying that it's done are really well connected, and this is accurate information coming out. I can't say that it's accurate because I'm not that person. So I'm not going to act like I am. But hopefully it's true, and hopefully this will be announced here in the next few days. And then we'll be able to move on to Logan Wilson. Dare we say Joe Burrow?
Yep.
That would be nice. Get all
Who
three
knows?
done. And what were we talking about before we went live? Having one press conference for all three guys from the 2020 draft?
That'd be cool.
Because Burrow being a team player, he's like, I want all three of us up here.
So Ryan got wind of 4-year, $85 million, which I like the $85 million just because that was his former number.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I think that's a reasonable number for him.
Andre,
Say what there, Greg?
what's the guy's name what's the guy's name? Andre, what's his name on there? The guy that's so good at contract. Parada. His proposal was 4 years, $95 million, I believe, and $41 million guaranteed.
Say it one more time.
Am I breaking up?
No, I want to hear that one more time. Make sure I heard it right.
4 years, $95 million, $41 million guaranteed.
Okay.
I mean, that's reasonable. I mean, the fact that we're actually negotiating with his agent, who we don't have the best history with, I'll take that, man.
Well, I don't think anybody has a great history with him other than the Browns and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
That's it. Like this whole narrative, I think it's kind of overplayed. Like you have to talk to this agent in order to get a deal done.
Yeah.
Just make it happen.
Well, you know what?
Who cares? Who cares who it is? It's like Drew Rosenhaus back in the day. Everybody was intimidated by him.
We actually had a good relationship with Drew Rosenhaus. We actually got a deal done with Chad. We got a deal done with Carlos Dunlap. Drew Rosenhaus was the agent nobody wanted to deal with.
Right.
But the Bengals always had a good relationship.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't mean with us. I just meant that
I know.
People were kind of skeptical of trying to get a deal done with him.
I think the agent that nobody wanted to deal with was Lee Steinberg.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that was Jerry Maguire based off of it. Well, he got us that great Achilles Smith contract.
Hey, so Darth put out a funny comment. Typically skeptical of predictions with emojis, but I hope it's true. I do like that.
And me too, bro. We all hope it's true. I think we can all agree. We just want it done so we can get on with our lives and all that. Because the whole thing with Joe Mixon and Jonah Williams, can we just agree, just bringing this to an end? I don't even care if they're both on the team, based on what my opinions or anybody's opinions are. I just want a conclusion. I just want closure with this.
The big thing is you've got the reason you would get rid of both is because you would clear up over $25 million of cap space. Now,
who is both?
Jonah Williams and Joe Mixon.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the only way you can get rid of Jonah Williams to clear that cap space is to trade him, because then that fully guaranteed contract becomes the responsibility of whoever you trade him to. So if you're able to trade him and let's say you cut Joe Mixon, I think you save about 10.1 with the June 1.
Yeah, because you still got to pay Mixon a chunk.
So you're talking almost $23 million. Let's call it that. The question is, what do you do with that $23 million? There's not a whole bunch of free agents out there. Are you saving that money for the extensions that you're getting ready to do? I don't know.
Exactly.
Are you going to trade for a guy and then sign him to an extension because that's what he wants? I don't know.
Right.
So there's that option where you get rid of both those guys, you save the cap space. There's the other option where you get rid of one of them and do something that route. I mean, it's just there's so many different options. But I'm with you, Greg. I just want it to end. Let's just stop with it and let's go.
I think Mixon's definitely gone.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way that he doesn't fit the culture anymore. First off, he's not worth the money.
No,
he's absolutely not worth the money. And where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, there's something going on. And I just don't think that Zach Taylor wants that.
No, exactly. Did you guys listen? If you guys listen to Locked On Bengals, when Joe Goodbeer came on, he flat out said he doesn't fit the offense anymore. He doesn't fit what they're really trying to run. So that's just another thing right there. Like I say, Joe Mixon, we can all agree, when he came here, great team leader. When you saw him in practice fields throwing the balls back and forth to the kids, unbelievably awesome.
So let's give credit. Let's give credit where credit's due. And let me start it by saying this: the offense needs not only does it need a receiving back, it needs a blocking back.
Yes.
Mixon is one of those. And he did
No.
one of those things very well last year, to the point of setting a Bengals record, franchise record for receptions by a running back. So that, I think he had 60 receptions, if I remember right. That's huge. Never been done before by a running back for the Bengals. However, his blocking was not ideal in
No, it
key
wasn't.
situations. That's a reason why Samaje Perine kept coming in.
Is that the smallish receiving type back from Kansas City still available? Number one.
Is that Derek McKinnon?
Yes. Is he still available, or did he get signed?
Still available.
Because he's a great blocker, and we know what he can do with the ball in his hands.
And it's an inexpensive option too.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna
would
cost us
definitely
like
look in that direction.
Yep.
He's going to cost us like what, $1 or $2 million? Yeah, McKinnon. That's right, Joe. He's going to cost us like what, $1 or $2 million?
Yeah. He is also older, but I mean, if you're only signing him to a 1 or 2 year deal,
Yeah, I think that's all you're looking for. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any running backs you want to hook your wagon to for 4 or 5 years.
right.
They are
No,
few
you
and
don't.
far between.
So, I keep calling him Ryan. I'm just going to go with Ryan. He's been in the comments before. I just don't know what his first name is, but he said that there's word that Cincinnati's already offered Mixon a reduced cost contract, and he's just assuming that it's been declined.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. Not the decline part, but I heard they offered it to him. That they said the only way he's going to be on the team
right.
is if he takes a significant pay cut.
Ooh, Houday Joe.
Yeah.
I know Joe has been on this train for a while.
Joe
And
wants
I
Gibbs.
like Gibbs.
Do what?
I like Gibbs.
There it is. Oh, we got you into the draft talk.
No, I do like Alabama.
Here's
right?
the thing that scares.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. But but Bengal Dad, here's the thing. Same size, same weight as John Ross was coming out. That's the only thing that scares me about him.
Yeah, but at least with him, he'll have the ball handed to him.
Yeah, he doesn't have to
That's
worry
true.
about
Not have to
You know,
catch.
John Ross was running
And
left, the
Will-
ball was going right.
Well, you got me on
He
that
had
one.
no
Bengal Dad.
idea where that ball was going.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And he couldn't, and he had a bad case of fumbleitis, we can agree.
Gibbs and McKinnon would be a nice backfield, and you throw Travion in the mix too. You
Yeah,
throw
don't forget
Travion.
about
Zeke
Travion.
Elliott, I'm telling you,
That's
I like Travion.
Zeke Elliott.
that's 3 guys that I would absolutely love in this backfield.
It'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Another one aboard the Gibbs train. Chew,
Man,
True.
Joe and Bengal Dad are getting along just fine.
hang
But
on
no,
a
I will not
second.
complain.
Of course, he said I was a certified mixing cutter. I don't
Yeah.
know if that was a good thing or not.
It's okay because he wanted you to get aboard the Gibbs train.
Yeah.
Do we have San? Oh, we got Santori back. Look out!
Is he back?
There he is.
There he is, the mouth that roared. There he is.
Hey, we actually do have confirmation. It is Ryan, absolutely, and we got Kieran in the chat too. What's up, Kieran? Love
What
you, bro.
up, Kieran?
Love you too.
What's up,
Houday
Buck
Joe.
Joy?
Oh, you. This is illegal, by the way.
There you go.
Whatever.
This
You know,
is
both-
The pitch to Myers is dribbled foul on the left
First one had
side.
the same for both teams. 2 on, nobody out, double play.
It's not illegal. It's for commentary and cynicism. What's the comedy? Yeah. Swing and a miss by Myers. He goes down on strikes.
You know who
Look at
he's
this.
reminding me of? Who's the guy they got? The guy I always said was a great player they got from the Dodgers, and then he was cut after like 3 weeks.
Matt Kemp.
Matt Kemp. He reminds me of Matt Kemp.
Yeah.
He swings at everything low and away.
Hey, you know what I love doing is watching choppy baseball.
Oh,
Yeah,
looks
choppy
good as hell
baseball
to me.
good. Well, you need to pause it.
Pause it.
Is this her boy? This is your
Yeah.
boy.
Is that Jay Bruce?
That's Jay Bruce.
Yeah.
Ryan, Valley Sports is bankrupt. Is it really illegal?
Yeah, what do they want? My negative $20?
fair use and parody.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to get flagged.
All right. If this was Jay Bruce, he'd throw him a slider low and in, he'd swing right over the top of it.
Oh my gosh.
This is just a game break, Fouled off.
Oh, challenged you with a fan. Well, no, maybe it was a cutter.
Well, I'm ahead of you, so
Well,
another
Well, then
foul.
you don't-
I got a feeling this bat's not going to go so well now that I just looked to my left.
Well, another
here's
foul.
the 0-2 pitch.
Down the first
Line
base.
down the first baseline. Foul.
See?
I will make you a bet here, son. This is not going to be a home run.
Wait.
I'm not taking that bet because I think you guys are a little ahead of me.
I'm going to say ball outside.
All right.
Oh, let's see.
And plate word. Just a bit outside.
Man, I'm so good. Hold on. Another one.
I couldn't even tell.
Oh, I'm going to call strikeout.
You done fucked up. All right. That was your live breaking.
He ain't hitting
Reds
22 and a
game.
half home runs looking like that.
Mm-hmm. Sure he will. Bruce did.
Hey, Adam Dunn did all the time.
We were allowed to show that. That was delayed.
Uh-huh.
The great James Deaney.
Those were just highlights. Low light.
Or low lights. Yeah.
Uh-oh. We just hit a double.
Oh, I missed it.
Mr. Steer.
Don't watch it. That's bad. Well, say, Tori, you're the bad luck now. Now we all figured out you're the bad luck.
That is accurate.
All right.
That was a nice read on that hit, actually, to get the second.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I'm watching a computer.
Yeah.
But I know the Cowboy says that Steer does not miss a curveball. So I wonder if it was a curveball he hit.
Right.
Apparently, we're going to YouTube jail.
Hey.
For those of you that are new to the program, I did that about 100 times last year, and no one said a damn thing.
All right.
Well, buddy,
Now,
buddy, just don't get a snitch.
you know what happens with snitches.
Apparently, the screens everybody's watching say suspended for policy violations. Did we get shut down already?
Hold on. We go to YouTube. Yep.
Oh, crap.
Good job,
Oh,
son.
crap.
I tried to say it.
We did it.
Are we done, or?
I don't know.
We're not live anymore.
We're technically live. It's just not broadcasting anywhere, which is weird.
Okay.
Who got mad that quick?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to put a note in here. I'll make a new one real quick and put it on there. Oh, wait. Somebody said, there you go.
Are we back?
Hold on. Go to YouTube.
Back on now.
We're back.
She said they're back on.
All right. Well,
What's 50 minutes mean?
we had to get rid of the illegal shiznit real quick.
Well, they were just highlights.
We're not going to say who did it.
Somebody said we're black. Wait, that's oddly
Back
weird.
in black, ACDC.
That's
Can we put that song on, or are we in violation?
We're good. We're good.
This
We're
show is a violation. Like everything
No, don't
we do.
that.
It is.
We're good.
Half of the shit
Yeah.
we show is a violation.
Oh, let's broadcast that everywhere too. That's good.
All right, let's keep talking, boys. What do we got here?
Okay, so Santori, what we were talking about is Higgins extension, trying to give up some interesting numbers, years, money, that kind of stuff. What kind of comments did you have about that stuff?
First off, I deleted my cookies just for us to get a violation, so I'm a little bitter I lost all my passwords. Secondly, I think he's going to be between 25 and 28 a year, anywhere from 3 to 5 years. So high end at 3 years, you're looking 78. Low end, you're looking 75. At 5 years, high end, you're looking 140. I think is what that comes out to.
Okay.
And low end on the 5 years, you're looking 125. It's going to be I know that's kind of a wide range.
I get it.
That's kind of where we're at.
What are you thinking? 30% guarantee? 35% guarantee?
Maybe. I mean, that seems to be fair.
I love how everybody was like,
Santori,
"Guess what?
Andre.
Canceled." Greg, go ahead, bud.
Okay, what's Andre's last name again for the 50th time?
Parada.
Parada. So Santori, Andre Parada, and I'm sure you saw his tweet. His proposal was, I believe, 4 years, 95, 96 million, 41 million guaranteed. Does that seem accurate? You're like, does that seem like something fair for Tee Higgins?
I think it's a little light for T, but it's
It'd be
very
a
fair
little
for
light
me.
on the annual pay.
So, in other words, he'd be like, this stinks.
I don't think any. Would you say it stinks if your job offered you $100 million?
Hell no, biatch.
Okay, well, there's your answer.
Okay.
He knows
It's a
he's
little
a,
lighter than what you said. That's
he
all.
knows he's a 2 here. So he knows he's going to get 2 money here. That could be anywhere from 21 to 28. I mean, 28 tends to be 1 money. I would not want to pay him 1 money personally, but I would understand it. I mean, there's quite a range. It depends on what T wants, and he's got one of the hardest agents in the NFL to work with. That's why I'd be surprised if it was that light.
That's why I was going to say I'll play the Mulligetta stand here and say, would you said he's a 2 here, but Mulligetta would probably say he's a 1 almost everywhere else. So what would you say to that argument?
We're not talking about everywhere else. We're talking here.
There you go. Okay, cool.
Can I pose a similar question and take the fact? Let's assume that they're both free agents. Which player do you think's really better, Chase or T?
Chase.
I think T's a little more consistent. I think Chase has that home run ability you look for. I think Chase is a more rare talent, but I think you'd have a longer career with T. They're different types.
I think I agree with just about everything you said there. T just seems to be more consistent.
It sounds like this. Let me put it this way. It sounds like T is that guy that'll go 3 for 4 at times, but I don't want to compare Chase to Adam Dunn because that's a insult, but it's like he'll get you that big home run every 10 at-bats or something. So batting average-wise, it sounds like T's better, but for home run ability, it's Jamar Chase. Is that a fair statement?
It's trying to compare a home run hitter to a singles and doubles hitter. It's really not fair. I mean, who would you rather have, Junior or Pete Rose? No, they're both. If you had to take them both at their prime for 5 years, I don't know. They do different things, but they're both great.
Well, no, hold the phone now. I don't know. That's like telling me to choose between pizza and burgers.
Yeah, it's hard. That's the point.
You know, I would probably take Griffey. That's like choosing between pizza and burgers. I couldn't do that.
So okay, so let's look at it this way. You guys go ahead. I'm looking something up.
I have nothing to go ahead with.
Okay.
All right, I'll go ahead with it. I'll go ahead with it. What do you think a contract for Logan Wilson would look like if you? Because like that's the biggest mystery.
You asked me this already. I don't know.
Well, what the hell, man? I'm trying to re-ask. Okay, fine. Let's talk about the draft a little bit.
Answer. I don't know.
You were talking about.
Is Logan Wilson worth more than Pratt?
Yes.
Because again, they do 2 different things. Would you stop? Just stop.
It's milk. Got milk?
Yeah, sure.
I'm wiping my face off for you.
But no, Santori, no, this is an honest question and all that stuff. Say if it came down, because I talked about this with Dale and Bruce, say if it came down honestly to DJ Reed, who's 30 years old, and we usually sign guys that are 24, Logan Wilson. Say if it did come between those two, who would you sign?
Reader. I'm already paying a linebacker. I'm not paying 2 of them if I don't have to.
All right. Well, buddy, man, I can see you put some thought into this. I'm just kidding.
Keep me strong at multiple different levels.
Okay. Gotcha. Add 20% to Pat's deal for Logan. Okay.
So $5 million over the course of 3 years. So 1.75 a year. All right. Okay, that's cheap for me. There are some guys getting 100 million. Pratt got 21. That's why I don't know. It depends where the league values Logan.
So I'll give you guys a few numbers for Chase versus Higgins, and we'll see if you guys agree with what the numbers are saying.
Okay.
So, where'd it go? There it is, player comparison. So Jamar Chase, 21 to 22, he had 29 games and averaged 14.9 yards per reception. Tee Higgins from 20 to 22 averaged 14.1. On a per game basis, Jamar Chase averaged 86.2. Tee Higgins 65.8 per game. Jamar Chase averaged 0.8 touchdowns per game. Tee Higgins averaged 0.4 per game.
Mm-hmm.
Any other numbers you'd like to know?
Wow.
Targets per game.
Targets per game. Okay, let me see if it's got that.
I want to know their target share for those numbers.
I would like to know that too, honestly. Okay, so Jamar Chase had 262 targets. Let me get Tee Higgins back up here real quick. Tell you that. Why can I not find it again? It's awesome.
You can do it. I'm praying for you.
There it is. Got it. Tee Higgins, 21 to 22, had 219 targets.
So he had 83% of the targets.
Hold on. The numbers I gave you was Tee Higgins 20 through 22. That was his averages. So let me give you that. He had 327 targets, 20 to 22.
What did he have in 21 and 22?
219.
Okay, I care about the last 2 years. Make it even.
Yeah.
219.
219.
Chase had 262.
Chase had 262, yes.
Okay, so that's 84% of the target share. And what did you say the yards were? 69 to 81?
Hold on. Player comparison. Per game, 86.2 for Jamar Chase.
86.2.
65.8 for Tee Higgins. And see, this is why I love bringing this stuff up, because you're gonna get it.
69.5, you said?
65.8.
65.8.
Yep.
65.8 divided by 86.2. That's 76. So Chase is still a little bit better. T gets 83% of the chances that Jamar does, and he gets 76% of the yards. If you gave him a couple more of those bombs or deeper shots, considering they're at 14.9 to 14.1, they're about the same guy. They're very, very, very close considering their target share.
You have a stat that shows you who makes more third down catches to convert into first downs.
There's a stat. It's called first down percentage for running backs. I don't know if they have it for receivers.
See, I'm on Pro Football Reference. I don't have PFF.
It seemed like Chase was much more dynamic in 21,
no,
and that Higgins was much more clutch in 22.
Oh, here we go. Looks like first downs. Jamar Chase had 114.
Yeah, 58 this year,
22.
56 last year.
Tee Higgins, if I get down to it, first downs had 100.
Again, about the same. That target share is right there. There's about a 10% differential on each stat, and
that's really good to keep it as close as it is, because it just makes it so much easier for Burrow.
Let's throw this out there too. Why are we trying to pick? It's like picking our favorite kid. That's pretty funny, Joe.
You know what this reminds? Hey guys, you know what this reminds? Have any of you seen the movie 61?
Yes.
Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle. It just drove me nuts how everybody was siding with Mickey and they ignored Roger. I never understood that. Why can't there be room to like both those guys? Why do they have to pick a side for the home run hitter? That's what it kind of reminds me of Cincinnati. Just like both, you know? That's
Why
how
are
I
you trying to be
kinda look at it. I
Mr.
know that's a little
Neutrality?
strange. What do you mean?
Well, here's your difference. The difference is in yards after catch. Jamar kills.
Well,
the
Jamar
teams.
he will toast Tee Higgins. There's no
I
question
lost
about
my
that.
headset.
Oh,
Wire.
yeah,
Give me a
absolutely.
second. I have no idea what you're saying. This entire episode has been me just bumbling, fumbling, stumbling around.
Well, Ryan does have another interesting comment here. I bet some of them aren't even bombs. I bet it's about double coverage and open targets.
I wonder what the average depth of target is. I know I can find that. We're getting way down the rabbit hole here in stat
Okay,
comparison.
Here we go. Jamar Chase in 21.
Yeah, you're in the weeds here.
Or you want me to say it?
Average depth of target?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 21, it was 12.6.
Okay.
22, it was 9.0.
Ooh, that's a drop.
Yes, it was. Tee Higgins, 12.1 in 21, 10.9 in 22.
Okay, so Jamar catches shorter ones and runs, and T catches it and hits the deck.
That must mean Burrow has a bad arm.
I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm kind of just ready to just move on. Is that bad?
Man, all right, fine.
No, is it bad?
No, I understand. You're bored with us. It's all right.
No, I mean, like
the animosity's been growing for weeks. We can feel it. It's okay. You left us for the Masters. It's all right.
Oh,
Dad left for
Couldn't
Vegas.
even do
You
a
left
show
for the
without you,
Masters.
James.
Greg and I are the ones here every single night, and then you guys just keep going on vacations.
every single night, and you cancel the show.
yeah.
Let's say that again, real slow.
Well, Santori didn't want to deal with. He didn't want to deal with Buck Joy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a hot mess.
No, what I was going to say
It
is
wasn't that night.
well, I mean, we are hitting 57 minutes, so maybe we push it to go to the draft.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes of blackout, apparently.
We're 3 minutes from American Idol.
Oh, my God. All right, draft.
Ooh. Do I need to make the screen a little bigger here?
No, I think it's fine. I see it great.
Everybody okay?
I need to make my screen bigger.
Good to go, Chief.
Now I'm good.
Hey, before I hit start, are we going to entertain any trades, or are we just going to say no trades? Let's just go.
I will always
No.
entertain trades. I love
I'll
trades.
say no trades because this will make it go faster.
Oh, my God, y'all suck.
Well,
I don't care what we do. You have control.
I'm going to hit start, and we'll see what happens. And I do have it going fast, so we can get through it.
How did Bryce Young not go to pick 20?
Bijan Robinson
Wow.
went to the Bills.
Hey, Will Levis. Let's go, Will Levis.
All right,
No.
you guys tell me what you want me to look at.
Keep scrolling.
You like Brian Branch, Santori?
No, keep scrolling.
Okay.
There's my guy.
Who's your guy?
Gibbs. Gibbs.
Yeah,
I like Gibbs.
Yeah.
Are you on the Gibbs train?
I like Gibbs.
With Joe, Joe's happy as hell.
Oh, my God. Dale, I think Dale started the Gibbs train. He was on here going, woo woo.
Say, Tori, you know the story if we draft Cam Smith, right? Didn't Dale say it on Friday, Bengals and Bruce with you?
He may have. I don't know.
Okay, so then we have Cam Taylor Britt. If we draft Cam Smith, we're going to redo Derek's shirts that says
Oh, I know.
the Cam.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't have any trades pop up.
No.
Normally, trades will pop up.
Is our favorite DM assassin in here? Is Darnell Wright still available?
Oh, DM is.
I don't think so.
No.
The DM, I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I ain't taking DeJuan right now.
Jumpstone.
I hate it because I don't like taking running backs. I think you got to take Gibbs.
Tell me where to go. Where do you want to look?
Well, say Tori.
Dad,
What about Mayer?
Hey, Gibbs.
the tight end does not do anything in this offense. I'm convinced.
Hey, Gibbs.
Okay, I'll trust your judgment. I'm not going to question. Did they come to his birthday party though?
I don't give a shit. Gibbs.
Mason. Oh my god!
I don't even care if he has a birthday. I'd prefer
All right.
not to
All
know
right,
his
Joe.
birthday.
Just take,
Jameer Gibbs.
take
Gibbs!
who you want.
Gibbs!
Yes!
All right,
Yeah!
here we go. Got a B+ on that one. Sam Laporta gone. Avila gone.
Rubber ball! Whoa, look at that trade!
There's a
Look
trade.
at that trade! They want to give us
Sorry,
their
you're
whole
not thinking
freaking
of-
draft.
Oh, wait a minute. 65th. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Hold on. Let's look.
Yeah,
at
that's
this.
pick 6. I can move back 5 spots and pick up the rest of their draft and part of their draft next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What the hell are they doing?
Let me scroll through them real quick.
Yeah, let's see the other offers. Someone else might be dumb.
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
Okay, good. That first one gets me a freaking haul.
That says accept, right?
Yep.
Okay, we accepted.
All right. Jesus Christ. Yes,
No,
just keep
don't
taking
go
them.
back that.
We're gonna have the entire 2024 draft class.
You want to go back that
Wait.
far?
I don't give a shit. Nah.
That's the one. That's the
I don't
first
want to
one.
move back another 30 picks. I do have some stuff I need to do.
Right.
Just reject it right now.
I was going to say, Santori, don't get all excited.
If I didn't have any needs, I'd have done it. Okay,
So
we already got a running back.
We're at
Tajay.
65. Tell me where to go.
We need an offensive lineman.
Simpson's still available?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That's Clark Phillips. Okay.
Scroll.
Oh, Tucker. My boy Tucker Santori. But that's Derek's guy, Sidney Brown, right there, though.
Oh, Sidney Brown too.
Irving Dexter, I know they're interested in.
I guess we're just out of offensive linemen already.
Well,
Pretty much.
Yeah, I
Blake
think
Freeland?
I'm gonna roll the dice on Freeland. Not
we
right
still
now.
have 92 there.
Yeah, that might work. Go back to best players again. Available. Man, I fucking love Simpson, but that doesn't make sense for us.
Right.
How about the edge
What
rusher?
about Johnson?
I don't know anything about him. I'll be honest.
All right.
Take Tucker. That's fine.
Right
Take
here?
take the tight end. He's gonna be
Everybody in
good.
agreement?
He's gonna be good.
That's too much of a name like Tyler Croft.
That's what I said.
The Bengals always draft people with similar names.
Well, then this one will be the right one.
And they got Gibbs, but he's another Jamar.
Jameer.
Jimmy, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Ooh, Jameer and Jamar.
Jameer. That makes a big difference.
All right, I did it.
Who? Is Freeland going to be there? Jesus.
Holy cow.
They just don't care. We can have the entire 7th round, apparently.
We can go 10 spots
No,
back.
Of course,
just
you don't get a lot of good stuff there unless you get lucky.
no, just
Okay, yep, we're done.
pass it.
Okay.
Is Freeland available?
Oh, they both got picked.
We have no. Okay, we didn't have a right tackle this year. We done fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Screwed up there.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Joe.
Oh my.
Joe just declined his contract.
Yeah. Have to start over. Travius Hodges Tomlinson. That's a hell of a name.
Here, let's go.
That's
And
fast.
he's a
Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown.
Apparently, somebody wants Sidney Brown. I'm not sure.
There's
Where's
Tyler
Tyler?
Scott.
Yeah, that's a hell of a name. Talk about close names. Holy shit.
Henry
Oh, he'll be good. He'll be one of
Oh.
those 6, 7 years.
To-
You'll keep hearing his name.
to-
Did I just see? I just saw Britney Spears.
Yep, sure did.
Why is Greg
Almost.
backstage? What happened? Where do you keep going?
My computer restarted and made a loud ass sound for some technical difficulties, so I'm back on my phone here. Sorry
You
about
gotta
that.
Just stop watching porn on it. You'll be
That was a
okay.
YouTube
I'm watching no
violation.
porn. I saved that for something else.
Damn.
Oh,
All right. Who's available here? I like Sidney Brown. That's
Yeah,
my
you
guy.
take Sidney Brown at this place? Absolutely.
That's a steal.
Yeah,
He's a first. That's a first round talent. I don't know what the hell the league's thinking right now.
Wait,
Let's do
Santori,
it.
did you just take Tucker Kraft just because you felt bad my computer went down?
No, I didn't even know you weren't here.
Oh, thank you.
Look
Yep.
at this.
Oh, Tyler Scott. Man.
Ooh,
Booty.
booty.
Is it booty or booty?
I don't know, but it sounds better. Booty.
Booty.
Gosh,
Booty.
is that who you want?
We're just going to take all fun names at this point.
That's not a bad pick, though.
Booty.
All right. We'll get an A.
The only pick that wasn't today was when we passed up an offensive lineman for Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, at this point, just skip the trades.
Yeah.
Bengal Dad's about ready to fall asleep here.
Yeah, I'm close.
So Zach
we-
Kuntz,
we go-
Mingo. I don't mind Garrett Williams right there at all.
Wasn't he hurt though?
I don't know. It's a video game. He ain't hurt right now.
Can we get somebody on the line on in any pick?
Oh, Robert John, please.
Any
give me-
line. Pick a line, any line.
Dontavion.
Dontavian Wicks.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like the name. Papo.
Ivan Pace Jr.
Yeah,
He's good for a few roughing penalties.
Yeah, see, he says it too. It's not just me.
Oh, he's a dirty player. He's a Steeler. I'm surprised they don't take him in the first round.
Yeah.
Ja'Cory Bennett's available. Or
Yep.
Corey Trice. Both of them are good.
All right. What do you think?
Give me Bennett, honestly.
Guys, I'm going to bow out because I don't know any of these people.
Bowing out?
I'm bowing out. Tapping out right now.
Boo!
Well, good to see you, Bengal Dad. Glad
See you
you're
next
feeling
Monday.
better.
1 week closer to almost being done with the draft.
That's
There
right.
you
See you.
So let's talk about this real quick. You want Ja'Cory Bennett over Garrett Williams?
I don't know. I don't know either of them. I just like the name Ja'Cory better. Freakonomics 101.
Okay, but if Cavassier Smoke was in this draft, he'd be number one.
I don't even know who that is. Okay.
The running back.
If The Rock was in this draft, he would be number one.
Yep.
No, Cavassier Smoke is a much better name.
The Rock?
Yes, 100% better.
No.
Cavassier, a drink, and then Smoke, a smoke.
I didn't
Yes.
even know Cavassier was a drink.
You didn't?
No.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
You're ignorant, uninformed, sir.
I'm the one that's dumb here for not knowing what Joe Buck is.
Joe Buck?
Oh wait, no, never mind. Bok Choy, my bad.
That was good. All right. What do you think?
Our
Want to go
group,
corner?
our group chat just said they tried airing the Reds game and it got shut down. We're still here.
We're here.
Text them. Tell them we're here.
I still like Bennett, man.
Cool. I liked it too. See? We're going. Skip that. Let's go all. Linebacker, edge.
If that guy doesn't end up being good, I don't know who will.
This one.
Yeah,
Olusegun Oluwatimi.
yeah,
Oluwatimi.
Oglu Luau.
I'll
Oh,
pronounce it.
No, you won't.
Makai Garner.
Greg, how do you pronounce Burrow?
B-A-U.
I said pronounce, not spell.
Oh, Burrow.
Burox.
Burox. Hey, I like Santori. Can you blame me for not liking that sound?
Yes,
Why is that?
it's Burrow.
That's
Burox.
You had to bring up that thing. I gave you permission for Bok Choy, but you had to bring up that.
Burox was the better one.
Well, I embarrassed myself, didn't I?
Athletic? My God, that's amazing.
All right, I made the pick.
Who'd you pick?
Alua Gimme,
All right, let's do
You
this.
gotta run this by the front office.
A plus. I don't.
Hey,
even
must be the money.
All right, here we go. So
This is
we've
a
taken
really bad draft.
we've taken a running back, we've taken a tight end, we've taken safety, wide receiver, cornerback, offensive line, and
Ryan Hayes, come on down.
That is the
Hell yeah.
most horrible name on this list.
I don't
On
give a
this
shit.
4-name list right here.
How is that a cool name, Santori?
Who said I was going for a cool name?
You
need a
just said
right
we're
guard.
going with the names.
No, we need a right tackle.
Oh, now we're so now we're making it
good.
sense.
Got it.
City So. That's a name right there.
City. Dante Demas. I like Demas.
Demas Jr., sir.
Close
Someone thought that name was so good they named it twice.
enough. All right. Tyler Lacey. Hey, another Tyler Santori.
I like this one.
You
Cox.
like Cox.
There it is. Waiting for
Coach
it.
Clay Tune. I like that too. Not as good as Cox though, but
What do you think,
Herb.
guys?
I don't know. I give up at this point. Joe's gonna die.
Then why did you make the trade, you chatterhead?
A cheddar head. Listen,
Powder
Bureaucrats. Listen to your bureaucrats.
We got an offensive tackle, and it was an A plus. Shut up.
Oh yeah, at 201, he ain't gonna make the team.
Yeah. Well, you don't know that.
Let's see what we got. 2 picks left.
Hey, no.
We haven't doubled up on
Pork
anything.
chop. James was the one that brought up Cox.
Oh, shut up.
Keep scrolling.
Which way? This
Well,
one?
let's go for a reach here in round 7.
Ooh, Juice Scruggs.
You know what? I've seen Jackson Kirkland's name forever, and he's gonna suck. But why not take a flyer on someone that's supposed to suck this late?
Why is that?
It's a
I
B
don't
plus. It's not bad.
If fucking Anaconda's still there, damn it, he just went.
Oh man.
Fucking Braden.
How do you pronounce the Princeton dude?
I don't know.
What
Not
tell me
drafted.
you're the one that pronounces stuff well.
It's pronounced UDFA. As far as
Andre-
I'm concerned.
Iosivas.
Trey Tucker.
Let's
There
go.
we
So
go.
Tucker.
You don't want a punter at this point?
We got to go Bearcat, man.
Why would you draft a punter, James?
Because we have more than 7 picks, Santori.
So what? They're lottery tickets.
Yeah? And
Puka Nuka.
you want this guy right here?
I want Trey Tucker. Just because I like watching him run wind sprints. I don't need him to do anything. I just watch him warm up.
Look at that.
We got 100 players, and none of them are going to contribute.
Santori, why do you not even give anybody a chance, bro?
I give all of them a chance. It's called training camp.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
What? Oh my God.
Damn you, Santori.
I'm not doing anything.
Santori, what the hell are you doing, bro?
He's taking off punter. All right.
Punter.
I honestly think that was a pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
If this town doesn't draft a right tackle in the first 2 to 3 rounds, there are going to be riots. at
Sir,
the
we
Banks.
have a right tackle. His
What do you
name
think
is
we
Jonah
did?
Williams.
It-
You
Sir,
do not have a right tackle. He's not going to be here. He ain't going to play.
Wait, Santori, you just stated a couple weeks ago you're not worried we have a right tackle no matter what.
thank you.
Yep, and I'm going back on it. I don't think he wants to be here.
Well, wait a minute now. Well, hold the phone.
What
What makes you
changed?
think that?
What
I can
changed?
change. There was some article I read somewhere, or I think it was something that Greg sent actually in our chat, where it was something from a few weeks ago where even I think Frank Pollock said it would be very, very, very difficult at this stage for him to transition to right tackle. And just between a couple coaches saying stuff like that and him saying he would rather be somewhere else, it's like, yeah, he's probably not going to be here.
Not worth your time?
No. I don't think he wants to do it. I think if worst comes to worst and he had to be here, he would still do it. But yeah, I'm allowed to change my mind. As long as I say that I'm changing my mind and I don't act like, oh, I always thought that way. You know?
All right. And Santori, I trust you. I trust you. I trust your judgment.
But no, I am trying to operate under the assumption that he's not here. And that's how I'm trying to fill out this roster.
When did that change?
Honestly, probably like 3 days ago.
Okay.
It's pretty recent.
That's fair.
Oh,
That's
wow.
fair.
And I have not been active on social media until about yesterday.
Right.
So no, it was probably within the last couple of days.
That's why we didn't know, Greg.
All right. No, Santori, you're allowed to change your mind. I understand.
I don't change it often, especially this late in the process. But
I was going to say, really see you change your mind. The fact that you're coming out saying this, that says a lot right there. But then he could be one of the top right tackles, because I asked him about that. He said if he really stuck to it, he could be a top right tackle.
who said they could be a top right tackle?
Oh, Jesus. Parker.
I'm going to disagree with Parker. Love Parker, but I'm going to disagree with him. I think he'd be a top right guard.
No, I believe you
think
on that.
he could be tackle. I just think he gets blown up too much to be a tackle.
All right.
He's got Dan Uggla syndrome, and that's not okay for a tackle.
All right. Could Carmen play right tackle or not a chance?
I don't know if Carmen can play football.
Okay.
He's been pretty bad for a while.
I was going to say we've seen a few good plays out of him in the last 4 or 5 games last year. For
the bright moments in the playoff games, there were some pretty atrocious moments as well.
Mm-hmm.
He is probably pretty close to leveling out for his talent level. I don't think he's going to get a whole lot better. Most people don't pop off in year 3 or 4, especially for line. They either get a little bit better or they start to rise. They don't get exponentially better. And he needs to get exponentially better in order to continue his career. If this is where he was at after a rookie season, so be it. But 2 years in, all kinds of problems. The fan base doesn't like him. He had that whole bullshit with his high school girlfriend. There's just a lot to not like about Jackson Carman. And that's a shame because he's a local kid and you root really, really hard for him. But, I mean, he'll probably be on the team, but I don't anticipate him being active for many games like last year. If you're a healthy scratch, another bad sign. I don't anticipate him being here after this year. There's probably 5 linemen on this roster right now. I do not anticipate being here after this season. I think this unit's going to continue gross overhaul until they get it right. And I think right now they have 3 of the 5 that they really trust. And by the time they get the 5th, they might need to find one of the other ones again.
Probably so.
Because we don't know about Volson. He's had 1 adequate rookie season. I mean, he could have a sophomore slump and he'll never see the light of day again. I mean, that's very likely to happen. He could be great, and you've got your left guard. You pray to God that Orlando Brown works out. Never know. That's not a given by any stretch of the imagination. So you still have a question mark at left tackle. You've signed a guy. You hope it's going to work, but you don't know. You have a little bit of a question mark at left guard. Center's good. Right guard's good. Right tackle, I don't know if we have one on the roster. So as of right now, you have 2 of the 5 you can count on. It's still a little bit shady on that line. As much as everybody goes, oh, they got left tackle through right guard complete. On paper, sure. But on paper, the Browns win the Super Bowl every offseason, so it doesn't matter until you actually get the results. And I think you probably will with Orlando Brown, and I don't necessarily see someone with Volson's effort and attitude regressing. So you should probably be fine, but probably, in my opinion, is 75%, which means there's still 25% room for error, which is a lot higher than the 3% people like to give. And I don't know what's happening at right tackle. In rookies, I mean, we haven't really been great at drafting offensive linemen, so that's going to be another thing that they try to do this year. So as much as everybody's like, oh, we're going to get DeJuan Jones, that's going to be fine. You don't fucking know that at all.
Yep.
So, quick question on that. Who do you blame, if you had to point fingers, who do you blame for the inability to draft offensive linemen?
I blame, and I think I'm going to blame Duke. And I don't think I'm blaming him on his evaluation.
Yeah.
I think they put a metric fuck ton of stock into what Willie Anderson and Paul Alexander tell them. And I wish they wouldn't, because they don't put stock into what people tell them for quarterbacks. They don't put stock into what people tell them for receivers. They're one of the best organizations in football in finding quarterbacks and receivers. They just are. Go back the last 40 years, they've always had at least one dynamite receiver, and they've always had a good quarterback.
Yep.
You can't tell me otherwise. With the exception of a couple years in the 90s, they've almost always had a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback. Not Andy, but, I mean, you go back to Greg Cook. He was a Hall of Fame. Greg Cook was a Hall of Fame talent before he got hurt, and then you get into the Ken Anderson era. He's borderline Hall of Fame. Boomer Esiason is going to be a Ring of Honor guy. There's not a great argument for him, but there's an argument. Carson Palmer's in the Ring of Honor for Arizona, was a Heisman winner and did fantastic here for a while. Andy Dalton went to the playoffs 5 straight years in Cincinnati, and then you move on to Burrow. Jeff Blake, if you want to go back to the dark ages, was the only reason this team's still in Cincinnati. There are things that this organization does really, really well, and it's when they decide to scout on their own. They know their guys. The issue is they tend to put a ton of stock into what Paul Alexander and Willie Anderson tell them for the offensive line, and not one of these motherfuckers has hit. Not one. Jonah's more or less a bust. You're not drafting that high of a left tackle with the promise that he's going to be average and overpaid. You're not drafting him at 11 again. You're just not. Volson is a 4th-round pick. Do you want to call that a hit, or do you want to call that he's doing a little better than expectation? Tell me where they've hit on a lineman in the last 15 years, because it's not frequent. It's the only position that they put a ton of stock into what those two guys say, and it doesn't work.
When did they draft Whitworth? What was that year?
06. You're outside the 15 years.
Yep. Hey, Will Benson hit the ball. He got
It's almost been 20 years since they've really drafted a good, solid offensive lineman. Greg and I went back and forth on Andre Smith. I hated Andre Smith, but that's 2009 You're going back.
I defend
14
he was traded
years for an I don't know.
Santori, I respect what you told me, but for that good year he was actually a decent right tackle. I just don't think. I think everybody got on him for his little workout he did. Believe me, that was ugly to see and all that when he at Alabama. But he was horrible at left tackle. But he had that couple good years at right tackle. I thought at one point that one year he was rated as the highest right tackle. I'm not saying just 1 year makes a difference, but I mean he wasn't a complete bust in my opinion.
He was a complete bust in my opinion.
That's fine. James, what did you think of him? I'm just curious.
I thought he was atrocious. My dad's nickname for him was Nothingness because it was like there was nothing there to block.
All right, no, that's fine.
Wasn't great. We'll just put it that way.
I'll never forget there was a game where Dad and I were just dogging him hard, and we absolutely hated him. So, like I always say, it's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems.
Yeah.
So where Greg thinks he's okay and I think he's horrible, he was probably below
Somewhere
average.
in the middle.
That's fine.
I remember two specific plays where Dad and I were sitting downstairs watching, and he goes, "This guy sucks. Let's watch nothingness on this play." And they snapped the ball, and he wasn't ready, and he got spun around in a circle, and a guy looped underneath him and just destroyed Andy Dalton. And I went, "Oh my God, he didn't even know the ball was snapped." And he's like, "Let's do it again." And then the next play was a holding. And I'm like, "This guy's just horrible."
No, we're not talking Billy Price. We're not going down there.
Kieran, do you mean BJ Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or boy he.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
sorry.
God. So that's a fun one because I always say I don't care how much research I do and what happens after the draft. I always have these like instant gut feelings, and they tend to be pretty right, especially for the first rounders. When they drafted Price, I had the same reaction as Joe Goodberry, which was "fuck." I'll never forget seeing that tweet. Just all caps.
No, I saw that too. I'm like, maybe Goodberry will be positive. I'm like, no.
No, but I was like, yeah, that's kind of where I thought. Yeah, except Kamara. I got that way wrong. But I'm talking about a gut feeling when we draft somebody. I will never forget when they drafted John Ross, and I went, I'm excited for the speed, but I don't think it's gonna work. And that was like my face was literally like this. Dad like wanted to take a picture. So every time they pick, Dad looks at me real quick, like what's his physical emotion. And when when Obuehi was picked, I slammed my laptop and went, "No!" And Ashley was like, "Not good, huh?" I was like, "This guy sucks."
What was your take when we got Jake Fisher?
Honestly, I didn't know who he was.
Oh.
I wasn't that in it at that point.
You didn't care.
I didn't look that far deep into it, but I remember they said he was pretty athletic, and I remember thinking that school doesn't really produce offensive linemen that well. And I'm like, ugh.
Well, that's why no Santori. That's funny you say that because that's why I was a little on the fence with Benet Sewell, just because of Oregon not producing great offensive linemen. But he's still playing well. But that was the thing I didn't like about Benet Sewell because Oregon didn't do that great of a job with the offensive line.
Oh my God! So that's a good point, Joe. Dad and I had this theory for years, and up until Zach Taylor's second year, it was an excellent theory. Every year in the second round, and I wish Dad was on for this because he would back me up immensely. Every year we would say the second round pick was a WTF pick. I shit you not. That's why it's funny that he says WTF. So we're sitting there and, we're like, okay, who are they going to take? And I think that was the year that Lima Swede was available. There were a couple decent named receivers. Not that
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, not that Lima Swede panned out. But I remember going, okay, we can get a receiver here, second round. We're going to pair him up well with Chad, and this is going to be great. Yeah. And they said, Jerome Simpson, Coastal Carolina. I said, who the fuck is that? And Dad goes, where the fuck is that? I'd never heard of the guy. I'd never heard of the school. They show his highlights. He had that giant-ass forehead. I'll never forget seeing it going, look at this guy. And the fucking grass was like blue. And I'm like, who? Where? What the hell is going on? And then, every year it seemed like there was a second-round pick. We were like, what the hell? And then we were sitting there during Zach Taylor's first year. And I liked the Jonah Williams draft pick at the time. Because I remember they drafted him on, oh, shit, that guy was still available? Great. There's your offensive tackle. You should be good to go for a little bit. And we're like, okay, second round. Is this going to be the Marvin Lewis trend, or is this Duke? What's going on here? And they go, Drew Sample. No, who? And Dad was like, who's that? And they said, a blocking tight end. And we went, why? Why would you try to blocking tight end? Now we know that there was a trade and it didn't go well, and some shit backfired. But at the time, we were like, what in the hell is going on? Every time this team picks second. And then a couple years ago, they picked Jackson Carman, who was like a third or fourth round pick on most boards. And everybody's like, what is going on? So there's like this second round mojo with the Bengals where they had this tendency to just pick these like out of nowhere. And I'm so glad they got Cam Taylor-Britt. Like, I was ecstatic with that one. But, man, there's a handful of second-round picks going back to, like, 2006 that are like, ooh, like, what the hell is that?
You know what, Santori? You know who else was shocked? We got Jerome Simpson. Jerome Simpson himself. I think I read somewhere him and his family were not even watching the draft. They were in a car somewhere on the highway, and he got the phone call because he didn't think he was going to get drafted at that time. He pulled over on the highway, and his family were cheering about it. I remember.
That's crazy.
God, who was that? Who was the pitcher for the Reds like 3 years ago when they started dismantling the team? And he was pulled over at an Arby's getting a beef and cheddar, and he heard on the radio he got traded.
Sonny Gray?
No, it was someone else. It was a little. I think it was Wade Miley. It was someone that was a little bit more gruff.
I think it was Wade Miley.
Someone said they were eating beef and cheddar in Arby's parking lot. Oh my God. I love it.
Muhammad, no, we Santori. I think we talked about this. We talked about Muhammad Sanu, didn't we?
Yeah.
How he got pranked and all that and stuff.
Oh yeah.
He was going to get picked in the first. I wanted him so badly too. I really did want him. In the third round came. He was the last receiver left. I'm like, we got to take this guy, and we did.
James, I just see all your messages in the private chat. You're allowed to just quit.
Well, I didn't want to just duck out.
Oh my God.
Make it seamless.
I
like,
scream.
like, hey, so since you, James, you got to go. Give it one of them.
No,
So,
we're not professionals. You can just.
Hey, let's bring attention to everything.
You can duck out. Your kid's got to go to bed.
You meanie.
We don't have kids.
It was my understanding that there would be no math.
Oh, I don't know how to use these. No. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, so glad to be back on. Oh my gosh, I missed it. It's been a crazy few weeks. I appreciate all the prayers. Everybody texting me, messaging me on Twitter about everything going on with my wife, my daughter, my in-laws with the accident. Really do appreciate it. I really, really, really mean it. It's been, guys, what?
I love my family so much.
What do you want?
They just came in. I'm trying to be nice about everything that happened, and they just came in.
They ruined it.
Yeah.
No,
Little Rugrats.
Seriously, I mean it. It was. I really do mean everything I'm saying. Thank you for all the prayers and everything. Last week was cool. Got to go to the Masters. That was neat. Then went to help out the in-laws with everything that was going on. Thank you, Joe. Love you too. But I really do appreciate everybody. Love you, Kieran. It was nice to just get all the messages, and then you guys know what all else went on. So appreciate everybody.
We're happy to have you on the show. I know I don't speak for Santori, but we're happy as hell to have you.
Oh,
buddy.
you definitely don't. He hates me.
Yep.
No.
What do you loves you.
There are James, there are times I just want to get in this show and log off and grab you by the back of the head and put you in a blender and just like hit pulse like
It
6
happens.
times.
It happens. I get it. I'd be probably more attractive after
No!
that.
I'll never stop eating my cookies.
No.
No. But seriously, thank you guys. I do have to go take care of the kids, put them to bed, but love you guys.
Well, let's just log off then.
No, you guys keep talking. Seriously. I just had to go. That's all. You know what? Just for you.
Uh-oh.
Boo.
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 But you know what? No, I want to say something quickly, man. Yeah, those draft stories, man. When we got Cedric Ogbuehi and all that, like I said, I never understood that. But I remember what you always said. You never draft hurt players. And I want to go to Dalton Kincaid quickly. That's what scared the fuck. If we drafted Kincaid, would that scare the fuck out of you?
I'd just be pissed off. You got to hope that you got to root for the kid because he's here, but it doesn't make sense.
No, exactly. I'll still root for him either way. I'm going to support either way. But like you were saying about Jackson Carman, I was not happy. I said if we draft Chase, we have to ace it in the second round with an offensive lineman. And I tried to be positive, but deep down inside, man, I'm like, what the hell were we doing? You know?
I don't know, man. There's been, like I said, quite a few questionable decisions.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But you know what, man? Like I say, like you nailed it on the head, though, man. Why can't they just trust Frank Pollock? Do you have your full trust in Frank Pollock with the draft process?
So I don't know about him with the draft because I don't think they've really drafted anyone he wants. I don't think Jackson Carman was one of his guys because he tends to go for guys that are either very, very intelligent or kind of gruff assholes. You know, those big nasties.
Yeah.
Orlando Brown fits both of those bills. Ted Karras is fiercely intelligent, not necessarily big, but he'll fucking fight you to the death. Kappa's big and nasty. Volson is big and nasty.
Yep.
Jonah is a little undersized, and he's not a finisher. He's not super nasty. Leo Collins is his guy. That's a big, nasty man. He's been hurt, but he's big and nasty. When you let Frank go out and identify guys that he wants in free agency, they've hit a home run every damn time. But for whatever reason, they don't draft well. So I don't think they're drafting what Frank wants. I think they're drafting what they're being told to draft from the outside, and I don't think it's working.
Well, you know what, Santori, like you said, they've admitted stuff in the past doesn't work and they fixed it. Let's hope this time, man, they finally like, look, man. Uh-oh. And what is that?
Dinosaur?
Is that a lizard?
It's a dinosaur. It's a T-Rex.
You supposed to watch Land Before Time, or
I don't know. Is she making fun of Jonah Williams and his short arms?
She might be.
If she is, that's a great troll. I don't think she is, but that's kind of what we're talking about.
No, okay, yeah, that's what I said. And Jonah Williams, that's another thing. Does he really fit what
short arms?
Does he really fit though what Frank Pollock wants, Jonah Williams? Now that we think about it,
no.
I don't think he does either, man.
Jonah Williams he's kind of a zone guy, kind of a quick read quarterback system guy.
Yeah.
Frank Pollock wants guys that are kind of old school, come out and punch you in the mouth.
Well,
that's what he is. And that shit works, especially for the offensive line. Linemen love to come out and fire, but if you don't have that mentality, you don't have it.
Does DeJuan Jones Darnell Wright, I still think he's going to be gone, but does DeJuan Jones fit that mold?
I don't know. I haven't watched enough yet. I know he's fucking big.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no doubt there.
We don't have to debate that shit, but I'm just saying, man, let Frank get we saw what Frank did in free agency. It worked out perfectly. Let him get the guys he wants.
But maybe I don't know what the deal is there. I mean, I really wish they would let Frank draft guys he wants. That my opinion is, and it's just based on, the guys they draft versus the guys they sign are vastly different types of players and mental makeup. They're polar opposites, and it doesn't really make sense.
Out of all the years you watched the draft, what was the one player that was sitting there you wanted so badly you thought they were going to take him? You're like, what the hell? Who was the one player that you just remembered you wanted so badly that they passed on that worked out and it worked out really well for another team?
I would really have to go back and look at draft classes because there's probably a handful in each draft.
It's a long list, huh?
I'll tell you this. It's a much shorter list of guys that I was pounding the table for that they actually took. One was Tee Higgins. I was at the end of round one during that 2020 draft. I went to bed with an enormous smile on my face. I was like, this guy's still sitting there? Holy hell. And I was like, we're going to get Higgins. We're going to get Higgins. And then there's a guy in my group chat. No, they need Mims. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You just get T. Get T. I was screaming for T. They drafted Tee Higgins that next day, and I was on cloud fucking 9. It's not often that I get exactly who I want. Burrow was one, and I think that's kind of an easy one.
Yeah.
But T was one that I was Oh my God, I was over the moon. Wanted Tee Higgins during the entire process because I had a top 20 grade on him. I couldn't. I was shocked
Well,
that he
Joe Goodberry,
fell.
dude, I was on Denzel Mims because of Joe Good. Joe Goodberry was all over Denzel Mims. I was that way with Denzel Mims. I wanted
couldn't
him or
stand Denzel Mims.
what was it about him that you saw that clearly does not panning out? You were right about what was it about him you didn't like?
He was a one-trick pony. He just went deep. Those guys don't work in the NFL. Every year, there's 3 or 4 guys that are like go ball specialists.
Right.
They don't really do anything else, and they come out of first read systems. He was one of them, and they never ever work out. They might have a couple games here and there.
Yeah.
Devin Smith for Ohio State, Corey Coleman, Colby Listenby, to a degree, John Ross. There's just a lot of these guys that they're just go ball guys, and they don't work out. A lot of times they're tight hipped. They don't have a whole lot of wiggle to them. They run like in the 4.3s, tend to be like 6'2", and everybody gets excited about it. And it's like, no, there's no shake and bake here. You know, the thing they always say about Jamar Chase is, oh, he runs like a running back. That's the best compliment a wide receiver can get. If they look like a running back once they have the ball in their hands, that's the fucking guy.
Well, that's why I like Laviska Shenault coming out of Colorado, man. I was a big fan of him because he looked like a running back. I now know he hasn't panned out well, but Laviska Shenault was another guy I liked in that class.
I liked him, but I thought he was a toy. And I thought he'd have done really, really well as a member of an offense, but not someone to feature in an offense.
You think he was way too what's the word I'm looking for? That he was kind of like a misfit toy, you could say, and all that and stuff? Or...
Yeah, I think he kind of fit in the Percy Harvin category.
Yeah.
He's really fun. He's really electric. There's a lot you can do with him. But he shouldn't be featured. That's not someone to build an offense around.
Okay. No, like I said, Tee Higgins, you know the funny thing about Higgins was I read somewhere that they said he could have fell in the draft. I read some people saw him as a late second round pick. That was I swear to God to you, that's what I read and all that. I was happy with Tee Higgins. I mean, like I said, I thought it was Mims or Shenault, but okay. Yeah, but no, so Tee Higgins, so you were shocked, you said, when Tee Higgins fell in the second round.
He was someone I watched the entire time because I when I was doing my mock drafts, I was like, man, I'd love it this guy fell because this guy's going to be legit. Everything about him looked right, and for whatever reason,
Jefferson.
What's that?
Did you have him higher than Jefferson?
Oh no, I had Jefferson as my number 1.
Oh really? Wow, over Judy and I know Ruggs. We obviously know, but even over Judy, Lamb, and Ruggs.
Mm-hmm.
And who was the guy? Who was that dude out of TCU the Eagles got that's pretty much been a bust?
Rieger? Yeah, no.
You weren't a fan of him either?
I wasn't a fan of him. I wasn't a fan of Ruggs. I liked Judy. I think I had T as my number 3 or 4. I'm just trying to remember the draft class, but I know I had Jefferson at 1, and I know I had Judy above T. I don't remember if there was someone in between them or not, but then our T was shortly after that.
Yeah, well, the thing with Jefferson was he was a slot receiver, but I remember T.J. Gonzalez said you can teach a kid to play outside if he has good speed, he can play outside. I don't care if he's only played slotted. Do you agree with that?
To a degree. The routes in a slot are much more complex than outside.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a polished route runner, you can play outside, but you're going to have speed if you don't have size. You have to have one of the two. It's just such a stretched out ball game playing on the outside as opposed to inside. You can be smaller and slower on the inside, a la Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd's not very quick. He's not very fast. He's not big, but he knows how to run routes. And we've seen it. There's a year or two here and there where if you go back in his career, he had to play outside and was still a 1,000-yard receiver.
That's true.
Some guys can do it. It's much easier to go from outside to inside than it is inside to outside.
Right. Because
on the outside, you have to have one of those two components, either size or speed. On the inside, you need to have a brain.
Okay. No, that's fair enough and all that and stuff. I learned stuff every day from learning all this stuff, man. Like I say, Just when I think every year, I've been watching the draft since 2001, 2002, and every year I think I know stuff, man. It's like, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? Do you feel like you're learning stuff every year? Do you still think?
Oh yeah, you have to. The moment you think you're done learning in the NFL is the moment you're done because you're behind. The NFL is continuously evolving. It's like when I put out 2 years ago that Mixon was going to get cut this year, and everybody ripped me. How can you say that? He's 24 years old. Guys, just look at the trends in the NFL. Look at how much he's going to make, and look who you're going to have to pay.
Yep.
This is not going to go well.
Were you happy he signed a contract at the time? Were you happy?
I wanted to extend him, but I thought he got too much.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I couldn't fathom how much money he got, especially because I don't agree with featuring a running back that much. And when you pay somebody that much, you're kind of showing how much you're going to use them.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like, okay, so we're still not evolving to a pass game. We're still going to rely on this 50-50 run pass split, which I didn't agree with. And now we're going to be stuck with a declining talent who I'm going to have to keep increasing in pay. All around, it just didn't make sense to me.
No, it didn't. I mean, you look at Derrick Henry, man. Remember that game we were smoking the Titans and all that? And they kept giving the ball to Derrick Henry. We kept stopping it. They're like, why are they giving it to Henry? The announcer's like, they're doing it because that's what their offense revolves around in. They're paying him the big money. That's their game plan, is the running game. And I'm like,
you can tell any professional sports team, any team,
right,
any league, what their game plan is by who they're paying. End of conversation. With the Bengals, look who they're paying. They're paying Joe. They're getting ready to pay T. They're going to pay Jamar. They are paying a left tackle. They spent a ton of money on center and right guard. They're drafting young defensive players and starting to let guys walk on defense.
Yeah.
They are going for a fucking air raid attack. They know they have a window to do it for probably 5 to 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to try and fucking let it rip. They have a confidence in their defensive coordinator that he can do it with a no-name defense, and that's how they're going to do it. Look at the Reds. Who are they paying right now? Nobody.
Yep.
They don't have a game plan. They're letting the young kids play. Development is their game plan. They're not intending on winning.
That's all you have,
Mm-hmm. It's like with baseball. If you want to know if your front office believes in your team or not,
right,
look to see if they're paying the bullpen.
That's true.
Because you only pay the bullpen if you anticipate winning.
Hey, no bullpen, no world championship, man. That year, man, we had Sean Marshall and that awesome bullpen. Rhodes, remember, who was like 38, 39, but could get guys out with the bases loaded. If we had that awesome bullpen, man, that's when we were legit, bud. You remember that too.
Mm-hmm. I was in high school.
You were in high school? Okay. Do you remember Scott Williamson at all?
Mm-hmm.
Remember him and Danny Graves were co-closers, and at the time, that was very unheard of, but it worked like a charm that year in 1999.
Yep. But I someone's got Kevin. That's a good question. What was it about T that made him drop? He did not test great in lateral quickness and speed.
Yeah.
For his size, he was considered slow.
Yes.
Which to me is remarkable how you can consider someone at 6'4" running a 4.5 slow.
Yeah.
Everybody gets enamored with these 4.3s and 4.4s. 4.5 is blazing fast.
Yeah.
I mean, ever here, I know it's a different sport. Billy Hamilton is known as like the fastest Reds player of all time.
Oh, easily.
The fastest Billy was ever clocked was like a 4.4.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Baseball players aren't as fast as football players. So
Even
you got Billy at a 4.4, maybe a 4.39 on a good day.
Yeah.
And T at a 4.5 or a 4.49. That's about a half a step difference, honestly. Maybe
5'10". He was wearing way less equipment than football equipment.
It's not that much of a difference. The difference between a 4.3 and a 4.5 is about 18 inches.
So, Tori,
About that much.
Here's the thing. I don't consider myself the sharpest tool in the shed here, but when I see players run 4.40s, I'm thinking to myself, okay, he can run straight line. How is he good at shifting? How is he good at like freezing and or containing that speed and all that?
That's why you watch 3-cone drills.
I remember I asked you that day, and you told me, watch the 3 cone drills. You say those matter. Everybody makes a big deal about the 40s, and I just think it's ridiculous.
Most NFL coaches don't even care about the combine in general.
No, they don't. It's game tape they care about.
They care about game tape, and they use the combine to actually meet the kids. The combine, more or less, is just reassurance of what they saw on tape.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If the tape is good and the combine's good, you're in great shape. If the tape is good and the combine's okay, you're in good shape. If the tape is good and the combine sucks, you look into it a little bit. If the tape is terrible and the combine's great, hold on. It's one of those things. It's just a tool, but they don't rely on it. Tape is king.
Right. Exactly.
I asked one of my buddies who's a coach, I asked if they ever look at breakout age or hand size or really any of that stuff. And he said, for certain positions, you look at things, you don't want your center's hands to be small. And I said, well, what about like a left guard? And he laughed. He went, no, I don't care about a left guard's hand size. Okay. What about arm length for tackles? He said, can they play or not? He said, yeah, you always look into it, sure, but if the tape says that they can play with their physique, then they can play.
Right, exactly.
End of conversation with that coach that I had. The last thing he said to me was, it comes down to, can they play? If the answer is yes, you take them.
Yeah,
he said all this other stuff that people take into account and all these other metrics, sure, maybe they do tell a tale. Maybe there is a correlation to it. He said, but can they play? That's all it comes down to.
Right, exactly. Can they play, man? And like,
I know it's kind of a new internet joke, but it truly comes down to, does he have that dog in him? Yes or no? That's what they look for.
Well, see, that's funny you say that. Cedric Ogbuehi, the thing I just kept reading about him was he doesn't have that mentality. When I look at my lineman, I said I see the words doesn't have mentality. Cedric Ogbuehi comes to my mind, man, because they said he had the long arms. He had all the physical traits, everything. I know he's coming off an injury, but the thing is, they kept saying he got bull rushed mentally. That's something you cannot fix, in my opinion.
Well, for the most part, and this, again, goes for most sports, basketball included, because you'll see it in basketball with some of the shorter guys that end up being superstars.
Yeah.
It comes down to, do they want it or not? The guys that want it bad enough will make it work with what they have.
Yeah.
End of conversation. So if you see somebody like Jahmyr Gibbs, who is the same size as John Ross, maybe a little bit heavier, there's an effort there. There's some guys just fucking want it, and that's the only thing.
You're right. It's about the mentality. It's about how badly do you want it.
I thought T was a 4.51. He's a 4.53. I'm sorry for the 0.03 seconds, stranger. Again, the 3/100ths of a second on a 40-yard dash, I believe, is 2 inches. So that means he lost by that much to the next guy. That's not much. That's puffing out your chest to break the tape.
Yeah, you did exactly what you just said and all that, man. It's like I'm trying to think. But you know what? Speaking of one of Joe Thomas, I didn't know this. You know that he had short arms, but they said he made up with it. He had the best footwork. I mean, Joe Thomas, man, he is up there, in my opinion.
Your feet and your hands are more important than your arms as an offensive tackle.
Yeah,
you can have short arms if you have great feet. Jonah Williams does not have great feet, and he does not have great hands. He lets people get into him too much. He does not have good kinesthetic awareness.
Yeah. Joe Thomas, man, can you argue was the top 5 offensive lineman of all time? I mean, I know that's crazy.
He might be the number 2 He might be the number 2 left tackle of all time. I still put Munoz ahead of him.
Yeah.
But man, he's close. He's damn close.
It is, man. You can't deny that. He just had a bunch of shitty quarterbacks and a bunch of shitty teams, and he still managed to be an all-pro. What was it, 12 years in a row he was? I mean, Jesus Christ.
I mean, he's one of the best ever. It's not even a question.
I don't want to say that, but it's the damn truth, right?
Well, you don't want to say just because he's a Brown, but if he was a Buccaneer, you'd say it easily.
Oh, yeah, easily, man. And I've told you, just like, like I say, though, man, you're just one of those things you just can't predict, man. There's never such thing as a sure thing and all that and stuff. So Williams always leaves the chest. What does that mean?
Means he leaves his body exposed when he's getting into his pedal. You know, a lot of guys, when they teach offensive linemen, we do like towel drills where we put a towel in each armpit and it keeps your elbows in tight and your hands in like a kind of a boxing position.
Really?
And it's to keep you, kind of compact. But if you get your elbows out too wide and your hands out here, you're going to grab the shoulder pads and you leave this entire area of your body exposed. So leaving your chest open, especially if you've got defenders that want to long arm you, you've seen that move. That's where he gets fucked over, is in that kind of stuff. Jonah's more technique driven than anything, but for whatever reason, 5 years in the league, the technique's not changing.
Well, he did really last year. Why did he lose a step? Was it because of the injuries, the separating?
Yeah,
knees?
I mean, he played with 2 busted up knees. I mean, here's the thing. He played with 2 busted up knees. He played with a rookie that caused some issues next to him. Coach Matt Minich put this out there today. Jonah got tagged with probably, and he didn't put a number on it, but I will. Jonah got tagged with probably 5 sacks that weren't necessarily his fault because of the way that people that don't watch the games, PFF, chart sacks. There was a great play that Matt Minich put out there today where Jonah let the guy get a little bit inside because of the shift protection, because they had a shift left that Volson was supposed to pick up, and Volson wasn't watching, and the guy blew right past Jonah, made Jonah look like an absolute fool, and they gave up the sack. Jonah technically gets charged on that sack because on tape it looks like he got destroyed, but on film and in the locker room and in the playbook, and that's a slide protection, that's not on Jonah, it was on Volson. So there's a handful of sacks, that Jonah got tagged with that Volson probably should have had consideration for. And if you take Jonah's sack numbers down from, I think there was 12, down to about 8, no one's really complaining. Everybody just focuses on that sack number. His pressure rate was like 6%, which is the mean in the NFL, is average. His overall pressures were average. The quarterback hits were average. The hurries were average. The sacks were through the roof. If there's something that's an outlier, then an outlier needs to be looked into. Jonah had a horrific pressure to sack rate, which isn't necessarily all his fault, but his pressure rate was normal. So there's something going on when you give up a normal amount of pressure and an extraordinary amount of sacks. So it's not necessarily him.
It doesn't add up, in your opinion.
No, it does not.
Yeah, it's Santori. I just follow PFF because Santori. I don't have. I wish I had that type of knowledge. PFF, I just look at and like I say, enough to say, hey, wait a minute, not to come at them, but from what I'm seeing on tape, he should not be penalized with that or anything. It's like
right.
Like baseball, the wrong person gets charged with an error sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes. To me, when it comes to those where you have like slide protection and you've got a situation where, let's say, a shortstop fires a ball to first base.
Yeah.
And the first baseman didn't quite reach out far enough and it went right past him.
Yeah.
There are some scores that would say the first baseman didn't get a glove on it, so it's a throwing error on the shortstop.
Right.
Well, he should have caught it, but it's also like a scoring situation in baseball. If I hit a fly ball to center field and I watch it, and it falls right in front of me and I never made an effort to catch it, it's not an error. It's just a hit.
No.
So sometimes there are, there's, like Ryan's saying, there are holes and errors in scoring. That's why it's important to actually watch tape and not read a fucking spreadsheet. And I'm the spreadsheet king. I put all of my data on spreadsheets.
No fight here, buddy.
But man, like you got to actually watch tape before you comment. And I'll go out on a limb and say this: Jonah's an average left tackle. He really, really is. He's in a system that he doesn't fit. I do think he's slightly out of position. He's always hurt. And when you are hurt as much as he is at the time of his career that he is, because he's still very young. I think he's only 26. I think he's like the same age as Joe Burrow. Like he's very young for as long as he's been here.
Yeah.
He's banged up. A lot of Alabama players are. That's another conversation we can have another day. But my God, like he's not as bad as what people think. You'll get something for him. That's why he's 25. 25. He's not that old.
Not even a prime yet, almost.
As much as we keep hearing about how young Joe Mixon is, he's younger than Joe Mixon.
Yes. Isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there
Joe's
you go.
26.
But my question, what do you think is holding up them from trading Jonah, man? What do you think? Do you think they're just waiting for the right time, or do you think they're
going to wait till someone gets desperate?
So what do you think will that be after the draft, though?
It'll be during the draft. I think he gets traded on day 2.
But are you confident we could go right tackle in the first round?
Am I confident we will or confident we can? They're two different answers.
Good. All right. Well, both. Just say both.
I'm confident that they can. I don't know if they will. It depends on what their strategy is. I think there's definitely going to be somebody there. But it all depends how the board falls. It depends what they want to do. They may think that they're okay with Jonah. I don't know. They may. I mean, they're much more plugged in than I am. I mean, here's the deal. If they're content with Jonah being a right tackle and they've had conversations where he's going to be the right tackle, they're not going to spend a pick early on a right tackle.
No.
But if they draft a right tackle at 28 or whatever they're picking, that's going to tell you what they think about what's going on with Jonah.
Well, you know what? I messaged Parker about that. You know what he told me? He said if we took DeJuan Jones, he still would keep Jonah. And I said, that's ironic in my opinion, because I say I trade Jonah. But he says, well, how do you know that DeJuan Jones is a for sure thing? And that's a fair statement he made. But do you really want to keep Jonah and have DeJuan as your backup? Now, I understand that, but do you agree with that, though? Would you still want to keep Jonah even if you do draft a DeJuan Jones at 28? Because I wouldn't.
No. That's a team building kind of philosophy thing. And I'll give you a great example. If you know you got a quarterback on the way out and you're drafting a quarterback in the first round, are you going to keep the other guy too? No, you trade Andy Dalton because you're drafting Joe Burrow. You just wait until you have Joe Burrow to trade Andy, which is what they did.
Well, you know what? It's kind of funny you say that because remember we drafted Joe Mixon and we kept Jeremy Hill, and I'm thinking, why are we keeping Jeremy Hill here? Why is Mixon his rookie year a third running back? Why is Jeremy Hill even on the team when he wasn't even performing well? You know what I'm saying?
You keep him for insurance until you know for sure. If they're drafting someone in the first round, they're hedging their bet. And you don't pay somebody $13 million to be an insurance policy. That's when you pay Cam Fleming $3 million as your insurance policy.
Which I have no idea why we're not going after him right now, but that's
because it's too early right now.
You know what, Santori? You and I had this conversation. After the draft, like you said, the new rule is that all these cuts have to be made and all that and stuff. So, like you said, man, let everything play out how it is. Like you've always said.
Right. Everybody thinks the dust has settled right now. You're in the middle of the storm. You're just looking straight up at the eye of it. So it seems a little bit more calm. Keep in mind, there's going to be 254, 255, whatever it is, rookies coming into the league.
Yeah.
There's going to be another probably 100 to 150 undrafted free agents.
Yep.
It's another 400 new faces into the NFL. Okay.
Yep.
And then let's see, it's April right now.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 months from now, 1/3 of the league gets cut in one day.
Jesus.
If you need 1 or 2 positions, you still have ample time. You're fine. Draft your best player available. You don't have many needs right now. Go with the flow, ride the wave, and then when the time hits that all those dominoes start falling, be alert. That's what good teams do.
Don't go to the player, let the player come to you.
That's kind of where they're at right now. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I know that's kind of weird because, like, you still got to go to the player to talk to me. You get what I'm saying and all
Just
that.
wait for the right opportunity. They'll be fine.
Yeah,
Everybody gets very, very, very impatient when it comes to the offseason. And you just need to just relax. If you trust your GM, which I do, you need to relax.
No.
Will there be XFL harvesting? There might be. I don't know. I don't know anything about the XFL. That is not my wheelhouse.
Talking XFL, Santori, we're looking for a backup quarterback. Why not give A.J. McCarron a phone call? What's the worst thing that happened?
He doesn't want to be a backup.
Oh, I heard his kids want to see him play. I think that's what he said. But
yeah, he said that in a post-game interview. I mean, you never know when the actual money is thrown at you. Sometimes your philosophy changes. But I mean, he said in his one of his post-game pressers, because he lit it up early, and he said, "This is why I wanted to come to the XFL." He said, "My kids like watching me play. My kids always look for YouTube highlights." He said, "I wanted to give them more of that." Could I make more money in the NFL? Yes. Do I have a chance at a Super Bowl in the NFL? Yes. Do my kids enjoy it if I'm not playing? No. Some guys have different aspirations.
You know what?
And that's more than fair. I love AJ McCarron. If that's what he wants to do, then so be it.
But you know what? In a way, you respect him in that way, that he cares more about playing than making money.
Yep. Oh, my God. The modern voice of reason and sound logic. Yeah, right. Dude, I'm just as wound up and tight as everybody else. I get a moment to collect myself before I come on a show. If you see me every day on Twitter, I'm losing my mind on stuff.
No, you do, Santori, but you put on a face and all that. I mean, Santori, I'll be the first one to admit I panic like hell and all that. I'm like, Santori, man, we're screwed. What are we gonna do here? You're like, Greg, just relax. But I know you get that way too, but you know how to put on a better face than I do.
It takes me to the point of almost no return before I start panicking, because then I'm like, man, fuck. But, it's April, and Irv Smith was drafted to be a starting tight end. Is he my number one that I really want? No. Will I deal with it if that's my worst case scenario? Sure. Okay. So my worst case scenario is Irv Smith.
Yes.
Okay. I can deal with that if he's surrounded by whatever running back they have, because I don't think running back truly matters too much. If he's surrounded by Tyler Boyd, Tee Higgins, and Jamar Chase, and Irv Smith is my 4 in the passing game, all right.
How do you bet that, man?
I'm good. Right tackle, they currently have one, and he's probably. I don't think he's going to be here, but they do have one on the roster if need be. They'll manage that situation just fine. This is the same situation they had with Carson Palmer. They went out and got Andy, and they waited until they found a suitor. They've been here before, and they handled it beautifully. So not really concerned. They went out and got other safeties. They have corners. They went and got corner depth. Left tackle's fixed. Left guard's fixed. Center's fixed. Right guard's fixed. D-line is fine. Linebacker got re-signed. They need a punter. If that's your biggest concern, which is an undrafted free agent, sounds like the draft's pretty wide open to me.
Yeah.
I don't have many concerns.
You know what, Santori, the funny thing is, I'll talk to like a Bengals hater. You know what he was telling me one day? He's like, Greg, the Bengals screwed up. I'm like, well, what did they do that you think they screwed up? They let P. Ryan walk. I'm like, well, clearly you didn't read into it. P. Ryan had the same offer them. He's like, well, the Bengals low outball P. Ryan. I'm like, no, we didn't. He wanted to leave for personal reasons to go with Sean Payton. He's like, oh.
He wanted more playing time.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, they also screwed up by not signing Hayden Hurst. I'm like, you're not paying the 30. No offense to Hayden. We wanted him back, but you're not paying the 30-year-old $8 million a year for 3 years, correct?
Here's the thing with Hayden Hurst, okay?
Yeah.
And I love Hayden Hurst.
Yes.
My sister loves Hayden Hurst.
Yeah,
My God. Okay? I'm going to name guys on the team that had more receptions than Hayden Hurst.
Let's do.
Jamar, T, Tyler, Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Am I paying my number 5 option $8 million a year?
No.
Fuck no. No. It's too much money to be wrapped up into one spot.
Exactly. And then his dad tells me the Bengals screwed up by not signing Burrow after the Super Bowl. I'm like, well, clearly you don't know. The rule is you can't sign a rookie till after his 3rd year. Isn't that right?
Right.
None of these guys know those rules.
You're not eligible for extension as a first-round draft pick until after your 3rd year.
And when I told him that, he's like, oh, but they just keep going by this, all the Bengals are cheap. Look, can we agree? You're never going to convince everybody the Bengals are out of their old ways, right?
I think the Bengals are about 3 weeks away from shocking a lot of people with 2 contracts that will convince most people that they're out of their own ways.
People will still find a way, though, to complain, right?
What they'll say is, oh, well, your defense is gone. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. You can only really pay 4 or 5 big name players on your team.
Right.
You can't pay everybody.
No.
So yeah, when you pay multiple players at the same position, like wide receiver,
right,
they'll just use the excuse of, oh, well, you can't pay that other position group now. Well, so be it. Go stop them.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitch all you want. Go stop them from hanging up 30.
Exactly. You're not going to match 30 every single game. And like you said, when you have a coach that knows how to turn water into wine with a bunch of players that everybody thought that were like busts and all that, I have no doubt in my mind that that guy, Sidney Jones, could be a great talent this year. It would not surprise me if he has the best year of his career this year. It would not surprise me at all.
He'll be okay. He's a talented guy.
No, like I said, with Nick Scott and Dax Hill, should we be worried we have 2 new safeties? Well, sure, but I'm not going to be concerned about it.
You have 1 new safety, not 2. Dax was here last year.
Now, what am I saying? Yeah,
second year in the system.
Right. What am I saying? Right. See, there you go. Then see, there you go. Like I say, man, I'm not as concerned when you have Lou and all that and stuff. But like you said, Santor, just the comments people make. I have no problem with disagreeing comments, but when you don't get your facts straight, like with the whole Pirine situation or the thing with Joe Burrow, I told you, that's just what irritates me to death.
People are going to find a reason to complain.
What's that?
People are going to find a reason to complain, first off.
Yeah.
And remember like 2 years ago when everybody was rooting for the Bengals because they were bad and it was a Cinderella story?
Yeah.
People like rooting for teams until they stay good.
Yes.
People don't want to root for them anymore because they're tired of it.
Because exactly.
So all those people that rooted for you they're done. That's over.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and that's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. But it's part of the territory with being a decent football team.
Exactly. Well, no, it's funny you say that because the Chicago Bulls, to be honest with you, Santori, I couldn't stand them. I got tired of them being good and all that. I mean, I regret that. But as a kid, I was like, man, I wanted somebody else to win. You know what I'm saying? I was always rooting for somebody else, but I regret that because Michael Jordan was greatness. But you just described exactly how I was with the Chicago Bulls, man. I just got tired of them winning championships.
That's how everybody was with the Patriots and how everybody's starting to get with the Chiefs. If the Chiefs win again this year, it's going to be like, eye roll. Like, come on, somebody new.
The fan, but not even. Yeah, my gosh, man. Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you're saying, man. I mean, like you said, people get tired of a winner, man. People get tired of that guy sitting on the rock most of the time,
Mm-hmm. Is what it is.
Yep.
Okay, well, we hit 212 on the show tonight.
But you know what, man? We learned. I learned something to do. Hey, we learn something new every day, man. The draft's less than 3 weeks away, man, and I can't wait for it. I think you can say the same, bud.
Oh yeah, my brother's already called me today, and for day 2, he's got me going over and making chicken wings and
nice.
God, what is it? He wants me to make wings. Baked mac and cheese, and his wife is going to make dirt cake. I don't even know what the hell dirt cake is.
Dude, dirt cake, man. I hated it when I was a kid. My mom said because that was actual dirt. Dude, you never had dirt cake?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, let me know how that is. You are so lucky, man. Dirt cake is awesome.
All right. I guess I'm lucky.
Dude, so what it is, it's think of cake, icing, and the dirt is grinded Oreos on top, man. Oh, you're going to love it, bro. With sometimes with gummy worms in it, too.
Yeah, here, I'll pump something real quick. For those of you still watching, go read Kieran's guide that he's got out there. It's, I'd never really read a whole lot of different guides before. I'd never really read a whole lot from Kieran. I sat down and watched games with him, and he seemed like he knew his stuff when we were talking and watching games. But, dude, the guide they put out, beyond the fact that it's got good information, it just looks very professional. It's very well done. They've got, a good little pro and con synopsis on, the main players. It's not every single person available because that would be astronomical list. But, the main, God, there's got to be 200 guys or more in that guide. Couple paragraphs on each guy, some good, some bad, one-liners, what their pros and cons are. It's a pretty good list. And it's well done. Kieran, a couple other guys put it together. I do recommend it.
Yeah.
And they're taking donations, and it's not for the guide. It's to a charity. I forget exactly which one it is, but Kieran, if you put a link in here, I'll promote it real quick for everybody, but it's a damn good guide. I'm not going to go out and say it rivals the Beast because Dane does a damn good job.
Yeah.
But it's a lot better than some of those tacky websites out there. It's actually worth the read. I don't mean this in a harsh way, Kieran. I've just seen a lot of shitty products out there, but I was very pleasantly surprised with how professional and concise that draft guide was. So great job to you and your team that worked on that. But fantastic. Link is there. I don't see a link, buddy, but wherever it is, it says link is there.
Yeah, Kieran,
I've got the link on my phone because I've been reading it all week, but
dude,
it's
you know your stuff too, Santori. I mean, I know you know your stuff too, but yeah, Kieran, you and I can both agree. When you start talking with Kieran's for real, man. I mean, he could tell you about this guy, that guy, and like you say, Kieran, man, definitely worth checking into, like Santori just said.
Yeah. So put a link out there. If you're not following Kieran, give him a follow on Twitter. He's a really good follow.
Yeah.
He likes to fight with people too. So
in a good way.
Yeah, maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
But go ahead, give him a follow. He does great shit with college football. I do know that he had some credentials for the Senior Bowl, so he's not some schlep that's just putting stuff out there. Like, he's a credentialed guy at this point. So go ahead and give his stuff a follow, man. Like, good stuff. Plus, he knows what Buck Joy is.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. I got, for those of you, I know we talked about Bengals and Bruce. For those of you who don't know, I did not. I knew that was a vegetable and all that and stuff. And then when they said, and him and Santori just gave me this frozen look, like, are you serious? And along with a couple of other things, but yeah, no, I learned something new from these guys every day, such as Buck Joy.
All right, well, thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna go see my wife for the first time this week. And I'm going to go eat some leftover deviled eggs and fart my way through the night. Truly, again, it's been a while since we've been able to put together a solid show. Just everything going on with James' family. My dad's been out of town and taking care of some stuff at home. So it's nice to get all four of us back together. And we'll see you again Monday. And, once the draft's over, we'll have some highlights and some film breakdowns. Everything will be good. And, then before you know it, it'll be August and Bengal Dad will be fired up and be ready to actually keep going. So, thank you for everybody that tunes in. We love to keep growing this. Hopefully I don't get shut down again next time. And we will see y'all next week. Peace.
And right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle. Throws is on his way around. Picked up